night, dude. Sunday night, 5 a.m. But Sunday side, so Monday.
Dude, it barely matters right now.
I'm still working. It doesn't matter.
Good.
For the most part. I mean, it does, because people get angry at me when I'm hungover and late for work. But that's fine, because my job doesn't fucking matter!
Until you run the fucking company.
Until I get fired?
Yeah, you get fired.
No, that's fine.
Getting fired liberates you, man.
I've only gotten fired once, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I got fired once over the phone, which I later learned was illegal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you actually can't. You can't fire people over the phone. It has to be like an in-person thing. You have to give them written shit. Yeah, I got fired over the phone once for like some bullshit.
I thought that was totally fine. Like you could call somebody up and be like, "Yo,
that's it. No.
So
that's if like you haven't showed up for like a long time, you know.
Oh,
But
okay.
even then, they wouldn't call you. They'd just send you a letter, like a legal letter. I got fired with no legal anything, just over the phone.
Weird.
Yeah, it was super strange. Yeah, my mom hooked me up with this job for a nursing home, and this girl there, we didn't get along.
Mm-hmm.
And one day she like asked me to take out some garbage that she basically filled with soup.
Okay.
Like the garbage bags.
Yeah.
So I went to pick them up, and the soup went all over Luke, everywhere, all over my pants. I was fucking pissed. I was like fucking 16. So my mom picks me up, and she's like, "What the fuck are you covered in?" Like you like I was like 17. Yeah, I was probably 17. And I worked in like a private nursing home facility in the town that we're from.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the town I'm from, I guess.
You can say the town name.
No, I can't.
It's not illegal.
Dude, they're gonna swat me, man. I can't say that. Fun Hill. I think it was what was the fucking place called? It was up near like the new Massimo's, you know, like way up there.
Yeah, I know that place. Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. It was it was private. It was like goddamn sweet. Like the whole thing was insane. Super rich. Like old people went there to die, basically. Live their remaining years.
And what, you spat in somebody's food and you got fired over the phone?
No, man. She like gave me like I was working in the kitchen and like also working in the dining room and like basically like plating up food for these people and just generally like being a good dude. I hope. And I liked the job. It was cool, and I could listen to like whatever music I wanted to, like while I was like plating, cause like plating in the dining room, because everyone else was like upstairs, like comatose or whatever.
Right.
So I would just chill. It was sick. Didn't smoke weed or anything at the time. Just like straight up hanging out, doing my job. And the one day, this fucking idiot, this asshole woman, which I assume she is now. She was not at the time. Just like didn't like me, and she fucking. She filled up these garbage bags full of like the soup leftovers, but also with like other shit, but mostly straight up liquid. And when you see a pile of garbage bags, and she was like, "Hey, like, can you take them out?" Like that was my thing. I could like she couldn't like throw them into the dumpster, so I was like, "All right, no problem." Not because she's a girl. She just like was like, I can't throw them into the. It was like 8 feet up, so like one of those big fucking dumpsters. So it was my job to like huck them into the dumpster, which sucked because it was hard. So I was like, whatever. Like, I'll do that if you do the dishes. I don't give a fuck. So then one night I fucking did it. And, dude, I went to huck the garbage bag up, dude. And it was all soup. And that shit went all over me. And it sucked. And I was fucking pissed. And I was, like, young. So my mom picked me up because I didn't have a car at the time. You know, I was down the road. Fucking Mama Luke picks me up. And she's, like, all livid because she, like, knew the manager. And it was just started this whole, like, super Karen moment. And anyway, and then like a week later, I didn't get a call for a shift, and then she called me, like the lady was like, "Yeah, you're like not coming back, you're fired." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
That's so bullshit, man.
Yeah, it was the only time I ever got fired, man. I've never gotten fired. I've quit jobs like without 2 weeks notice several times.
Yeah, me too.
And I did get fired from. Well, I guess I sort of kind of got fired from Omni, sort of. I mean, from that other place. It was like a weird thing. It was like sort of kind of got fired, kind of like fuck off forever sort of deal.
Dude, I got fired through text.
Oh.
Yeah, I was a line cook at this pub on the mountain.
Oh.
Fucking years ago. And like I worked there for like 2 weeks.
Oh.
And then one night, like after a shift, she was just like, "Yeah, we're not gonna need you."
Huh.
And I'm like, "Great, send me the money and fuck off."
Did they send you the money?
Yeah, I just e-transferred me all the money I made.
Oh, that's fair. At least they paid you.
At least she
Probably-
was
probably
legit
shitty.
about it, but it's like, man, that's a weird way.
It's just shitty,
to
man.
go.
You know, it's just like, how about you just give me straight up?
Yeah, it's so weird.
I didn't really get fired from the last like long-standing job I had. I mean, I quit once, well, twice, I guess. But the first time I quit, it was kind of like, yeah, we're gonna fire you, but also we're gonna give you like the record of employment chance to like quit, sort of thing. They were like trying to do me a solid for some reason, which just turned out to be
Right.
weird because I was just like, okay, I'm gonna quit, and they were like, okay, but you're also like you're fired because you fuck you, and I was like, okay, so what's showing up on my record of employment? And they were like, oh, we're just gonna put that like you quit, and I was like, all right, like I don't care what you have to say to me. As soon as you're like, I don't want to work here anymore, the relationship ceases to exist.
Yeah, right.
Anything nice I've said about you is redacted. Like, fuck you. You suck.
Yeah, at a certain point when you decide that you're going to,
If
like,
you
fuck
decide
off,
you're gonna quit, then it's like, you know, it's for
like,
reasons. That's
the moment you
fine.
decide that you don't care about this job anymore, it's gonna end up in two ways. You're either gonna get fed up and quit, or
Yeah.
they are going to fire you because you
Yeah.
stopped giving a fuck.
But I was like the 2B way, where it was like, or like the 1A way, I guess, where it was like, you have option 1, which would be to like, you know, man up and just quit. And there's option 1A, which is like, kind of push the envelope between 1 and 2, which is like, 2 is like where they just straight up fire you. I was like 3/4 of the way there.
Right.
I was like showing up and doing my job and shit, but I was also just kind of like fucking challenging people that were in management that didn't know what the fuck they were doing because it was making my life a living hell and the dudes I worked with. And it was like me and like a couple other dudes that like gave a shit, and we were just like, man, this is shitty. But I was like maybe a little bit more vocal, which I've kind of learned over the last couple of years, just to like shut your fucking mouth, which is funny. It's funny that's the thing, right? Like when you're working in a place and you see shit going wrong, and you see shit like being bad, like where I work now, like what I explained to you before, it's like I can't say any of that because the whole fucking thing's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you either just like shut up and take it, or you're like, yo, I don't want to do this anymore. So I'm either going to stop caring, in which case I get fired. It looks bad on me, on my stupid fucking ROE. If anyone actually looks at that, I don't know if they do. If I was hiring someone, I would glance at it and then, you know,
Depends.
Maybe if they got fired a bunch, then it's fine.
Yeah, it really depends on what they did.
Well, you never
You
know.
know?
It doesn't say like fired for, you know, jerking off in the closet. It doesn't say that.
It
which
should.
is not what I got fired for. But it just says like terminated. So then you got to
Yeah.
be like, hey, like ex-employee that you're applying for my job. Like,
Yo,
what did you do there?
Terminated is a weird way of putting it.
Dude, it's terrifying. That's
Yeah.
a scary term. Terminated, man.
Like, yeah, I've been terminated.
Dude, I didn't even get fired from McDonald's. I quit McDonald's. I've never
Good.
given 2 weeks notice.
Everyone should quit from
Wait, no,
McDonald's.
No, McDonald's was my first
Fuck
job.
that.
You ever worked there?
No, God,
It's
no.
fucked.
I would never work in a fast food joint, man.
Dude, fast food.
I've only worked in, like,
I've only worked
actual
McDonald's.
kitchens.
I've only worked McDonald's. My first fucking job. My mom was like, "Yo, you got to get a job." When I was doing the victory lap in high school, I didn't need to do the victory lap, but I was just like, "Fuck it, I don't know what to do." I wasn't ready to go to college. I'm still not. And mom was like, "Yeah, you got to work." And I was like, "All right." So she's like, "You should work at McDonald's, bro. It's free hamburgers." She didn't say that, but
Did they actually give you free hamburgers?
no, it's 50% off.
Oh, that's kind of shitty.
Dude, no, it's not. Man, we were playing shows.
Yeah, but in
Dude, we were
like,
playing
in
shows all
comparison-
over the place, and people were like, "Yo, let's go to McDonald's," and I was like, "Fuck yeah! What do you guys want?" And I'd order like $300 worth of food and get it for just half off immediately.
Oh shit!
didn't
So
matter what you ordered,
Oh, you
man.
could get a deal like anywhere.
Yeah, any time you order shit, unless like the manager. At
Did you
that
have like
store
a
was
platinum card?
Yeah, oh fuck yeah!
Oh my
buddy.
god.
So they do it actually in monthly increments. There's a different sticker that goes in the back of your laminated employee card.
Oh my god.
But I knew a dude that also worked at a McDonald's after I quit, and he still got the cards. So we were
Holy
like
shit.
we were playing all over the place, and I'd go to a McDonald's. It was North America wide, and I'd show my card, and they'd be like, "Suck," and
Yeah.
I'd just get 50% off. Dude, we ordered like $175 or like 200 chicken nuggets one night at like 11:30 at night. And you know they have them, and they have to make them because you're paying for it.
Yep.
And they made them, and I kind of felt bad. But we all had a fucking lot of nuggets, man. It was good.
Yeah, does
There was
McDonald's
there was
ever
20
run out of
us.
food?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
are they ever just like, no, we can't do that?
Well, the small ones, yeah. Like the one at
Yeah.
Fawn Hill, I thought that's the one I worked at. I mean, not that place. I never lived there.
Oh, okay.
That's not where I'm from.
Yeah, that mystery place.
Yes.
Mm.
I'm from Fawn Hill, Ontario. Come kill me, please.
Why is that a bad thing? Why do you not want to talk about that? Font Hill's dope, man.
It's better than fucking Welland, dude.
I was driving through it yesterday,
I love Fawn Hill.
through the fucking hills.
I don't love Fawn Hill, actually. I like my parents' house. Everything else I don't like.
Yeah, well, you don't like a lot of things.
I'm pretty happy, dude. I'm a pretty
Dude, I
happy
went to
guy.
Volcanoes yesterday. Get a
Oh.
fucking slice.
Welland Volcanoes or fucking...
The one next to Central.
Oh, so the OG one.
Mm-hmm. So legit. Hasn't changed in fucking years.
Oh, man. Is it still the same? Like, walk in...
Super greasy. Nothing has been cleaned since the
No,
90s.
since
Like,
the last
it's
time you've
just-
been there?
Yeah, it's so
Aw,
fucking
man.
gross. I love it.
See, there's something cool about that, though.
There's
then-
just loose buns.
Oh, yeah.
laying
Just
around. It's like,
everywhere.
what the
Yeah.
Who goes in there for like a sub?
I would.
always-
I've
it's
never
always
had
slices.
one. I've never had one.
Me either. I only go
Apparently
in for
they're
the
really
pizza.
good. Apparently their meatball subs are fucking to die for.
That's one of the most legit pizza joints.
Yeah, did you know I worked at the first one in Sketty Beach? Cause I worked
In
I worked
what,
at
the one in
first
Welland?
Fawn Hill.
Oh.
I was like one of the first employees there, dude. As soon as they opened it, I opened the store the day
The
they
one
opened.
above Ride Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might have been my first job actually before McDonald's. Maybe
Oh,
or my
shit.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, it would have been right before me. I was terrified. I'd never been that scared before in my life. My first job. I was so scared, dude. I'm making pizza, bro. I never made pizza in my life. I'm not Italian, man. I mean, I thought I was Irish for like 25 years, and my mom finally told me I'm not. So I guess I'm just Scottish, which sucks.
Dude, that's lame.
Well, I mean, we don't show any heritage, or yeah, we don't like.
No.
We're not proud of it.
No.
I was pretty stoked to be Irish because I could
well.
just like bang the drinking problem off on being Irish, but.
You could do the same thing for Scottish.
Yeah, but like being like, I'm Irish, and then they're just like, that's fine. You drinking whiskey at 9 in the morning, it's fine.
Yeah, having the Irish heritage is really good. It's fun.
Or really bad.
Well, I don't know. It's fun for me. It's somehow like, I don't know, in a way more comfortable than Scottish, I guess.
Oh no.
Although, I like Scotch way more than Irish whiskey.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Collective Arts right now because you guys are making this weird fucking banana beer shit, man. I don't like it.
It's not banana. I don't know where you're getting the banana from.
I don't know, or whatever it is, just foamed up all over the floor for no fucking reason. Anyway, aliens, dude. Last week, on Friday, don't know the date of last
Yeah,
Friday,
aliens.
but the fucking New York Times was like, yeah, listen, we know. We know that they're real now. Not even that. They didn't say that we know
Well,
that they're real.
Didn't the Navy talk about that like a month ago?
No, they didn't really. They released. They talked about it. Yeah, you're right. They released some shit. That wasn't a month ago. It was like a fucking
It
year
might have been
ago.
more than that. Fuck,
It was-
time
it was a
time
long
is
time.
slippery now.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well, you had
what
the
a
old
month ago
world.
is, or
Well, see,
I
the
don't know.
fucked up thing is, right, like you had like pre-COVID time,
Yeah,
which was like Monday to Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday. It was a good time.
yeah.
But now you have the new world, dude, and there's no time anymore.
The
Especially
New
if
World
you're not,
Order,
like-
man.
If you fucking, got sucked up in the whole like, oh, you can't work bullshit, which like is great
You
for
tried.
some people, and
You tried.
who me?
Yeah, you took
Oh,
like 2
I
weeks
could,
off.
I could 2 weeks. I took a month.
You took a month? I
Yeah.
thought it was way shorter than that.
No, man. I
But
was
then
off for a
again,
month.
time
I could've-
eludes me now.
Yeah, I
so-
could have taken as long as last Friday. I could have taken the entire time off until phase 3
Fuck.
or phase 2. Sorry. I got bored like really fucking quick. I've taken time, like I've taken months, or I think the longest I ever went without working was like a year and a half. It was terrible.
Damn, that's long.
Maybe a year. Yeah, it sucked. I just couldn't find a job though. I just moved here. Like I didn't really have any like skill sets aside from
Fair.
playing drums. I didn't know what to
Fair.
do. Right. All the nursing homes here are fucking already stocked. There's so many more people here. I thought I was gonna move here and find a job. Couldn't. I just chilled.
Yeah, that's right. You came
It
here
sucked.
just like straight up. When I moved here,
Yeah.
I went to college, so there was kind of like a
I was
thing.
I was in college. I
you
was
went
just,
to Metalworks, but
Well, it was-
I
it was
thought you
still at
moved here
college.
after.
I did. Yeah, I
Yeah.
moved here after. Yeah, I actually had a really cool spot in Oakville with my aunt and uncle, where like I was lucky enough where they were like, "Yo, you know, you don't really got to pay rent. Just like buy your own booze and weed, and we'll smoke your weed, but that's fine." So they gave me a really cool opportunity to stay there, and I decided not to, and to move into the old East Ave, which in hindsight I should have stayed there longer. I'd probably still have like a car and stuff. It would be cool. I was just saving money, right? So I lived for about a year ish, ran out of money. Ended up meeting a girl that was dating a guy that you used to know, that we used to know, that played in a band with guys that we used to know, called Bad Patriot. And
All right.
yeah,
I forgot
good,
about
yeah,
that
good,
band
good
for
demo.
a second.
Yeah, and
Yeah, that was a good demo.
the lead dude of that band, his girlfriend at the time, hooked me up with a job, and then I was all of a sudden working full time, and I fucking hated my life. But it got me into something cool that I like.
Sure.
So
yeah.
it was cool how it worked out. Not something I want to do forever, but yeah, I came here.
Came here with a dream.
Yeah.
The dream is dead.
Yeah, I'm real sad now.
The Hamilton dream is alive and well, man.
I did not come here for a dream, dude. I did not come to the city of Hamilton, Ontario with a dream. I came here out of desperation and to try and hang out with my friends, which fucking
Yeah.
still to this day might have been a mistake.
I came here because so many people I knew were moving here. It was so weird. It was like a mass exodus from Welland to
Yeah,
Hamilton.
which is a weird thing because a lot of dudes I went to high school with, that I actually like graduated with, they didn't move here. They all went like out west or like to fucking, they traveled and did all this shit, and then, I became friends with the guys that we're friends with, and then everyone just moved here, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I guess I'll just move to where my friends are because this is where the hangout is.
It's fucking weird. The entire like Welland space that we had just moved here, and then we just set up shop here.
Yeah, and now we're sitting in the shop, and
Mhm.
there's a lot of guitars hanging on the wall, but
Sit
not
in
a
the
lot
shop
of
that
shit
we've
being made.
had for like 5 years.
Yeah, so it'll be 5. I think it'll be 5 years in this very
This
room.
December,
and
I think.
this December, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Gotta have a big party.
Yeah, you and I will drink for sure.
Little party.
Yeah, no one else will be here.
Everyone
can
else
ac-
is
I can
dads
actually-
now.
Yeah, true. I can actually track down the day that we settled into this place. I think it's on my Instagram. Speaking of social media, I heard today that they're gonna try and there's a potential to. I swear to God, this beer's fucking banana flavored.
I'm still not tasting the banana.
It's just got this weird fucking banana after, like, you know those little tiny bananas that come in the candy machines and they're like yay big, you know?
Oh, the fake bananas?
Yeah, fuck
the
those
banana
bananas.
flavoring?
Yeah, that's what I tasted in this, and it's goddamn terrible. But anyway, I heard there's this thing. I heard it on the radio today. On I'm not gonna say it, but whatever. And they were talking about how Twitter might become a pay-per-use service, or it actually might
shit.
become a pay-per-tweet, if not pay monthly for an account like Netflix.
Oh, fuck that.
But if you take that logic of you take that like business logic into account, and then you also realize that most news coming out of North America is based on what people say on Twitter.
That's 100% of the news.
The
Twitter.
the president of the United States tweets things before they get to the news, and then the news
yeah.
will in turn
They have to report
upon
on
that.
Twitter because
Yeah.
Trump isn't doing press conferences. It's going straight to Twitter, which is fucking insane.
But you're gonna do a pay-per-use? Would you pay for that?
No.
What do you think it would be? You can't have it as much as Netflix. There's no fucking way, dude.
If it was like if it was like Spotify, so like $9.99, then no fucking way.
I wouldn't pay $10 a month for Twitter.
Where's
I don't use Twitter.
where's your fucking return on investment?
I don't use Twitter now.
There isn't.
Then you're gonna have
You're
ads.
not getting anything out of it.
And then you're gonna have ads on people's shit. So if that starts, then all of a sudden YouTube is gonna be like, all right, sick, subscription based, let's go. Then there goes all of your free independent media. It's gone. It's completely destroyed.
Well,
unless they start making their own
there'll be
streaming
something
services.
Else. I think if Twitter has this fucking paywall, something else will come up. I mean,
I didn't think Dorsey would do that, though, to be honest with you. I thought
it might be the only way of getting people off of it so that he doesn't have to sweat so much.
Oh, you think maybe it's to get douchebags away?
Because I think like half of the people that use
can't...
Twitter would stop using it if you actually had to pay for it.
Maybe not half, but you mean like half of the shitty people?
A good amount of people would stop fucking using it for sure.
But a lot of the, like, I would say 3/4 of the users of Twitter, if not more than that, are people that don't matter. Just like Facebook, just like Instagram, like that. You don't need to know. That's like when everyone was like, oh, like the States, like when they were recently when they, which I still don't know if is exactly effective, but they said that TikTok was banned.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is that about? Like, so you can't download it if you have an IP address in the States, or United States
I think
provider?
The Google App Store in the States won't provide it now.
So what about Apple? Because Apple's not really. They've never really been into that whole censorship thing.
If it's illegal in the States, then those companies have to comply. Yeah, it's not up to the companies.
Through the what the fuck are they called? The telecommunications committee in the States. I used to have to deal with them all the time. Yeah, I worked fraud for AT&T for a bit, eh? It was fucked. Right. Yeah, at Converges, man. Yeah, I was working fraud for a bit, and I used to have to like deal with lawyers. Like they would call like for subpoenas, and I'd have to like direct them to like other departments and shit. It was fucking weird, but I had the power to like go through. Not had the power, but like could legally and through my job, like description, could go through people's accounts, and as long as the other person was named on the account, I could give them information on it.
Right.
And it was weird, dude. I ruined 2 marriages. I'll never forget that. I ruined 2 marriages.
Fuck.
I'm fucking proud of it because it was hilarious. Yeah, one time this lady called me, and she was like, "Yo, it's my account. My husband's on it." And I was like, "Okay, sweet. What do you want?" And she's like, "I need you to tell me what numbers he's called or text messaged from this date to this date and at what times." And I was like, I didn't care about my job at the time, man. I didn't give a fuck.
Are you allowed to do that?
She was the account owner.
Oh, fuck.
She held the account. So if you called into your cell phone account and you had like if you had a chick or whatever, and if I had a chick on mine or a girl or whatever,
yeah, abroad.
Abroad. Yeah, or they them there as the I could fucking be like, yeah, I want to know what they called, and it's my account, so I know it, or I can know it. Sorry, I'm legally allowed to know that. It's in my name. It's under my SSN or like SIN number or whatever, the Social Security number in the States, Social Insurance in Canada, or whatever the fuck, vice versa, whatever. But yeah, this lady called in, and she's like, I want to know, like, you know, like what numbers this dude's called. And I was like, okay, like, I'll tell you, but basically, like, fuck.
Yeah.
So I told her, and she, like, started crying and shit. It was, like, super weird. And then it got really awkward because you can see, you can, like, hit, like, dude, it's so simple. Like, the way that shit shows up when you're working in, like, a CSR, like a customer service representative, that was very important. I was mostly working fraud, but we would get, like, CSR I was working tech support for 2 days a week, and then fraud for 3, which was like mostly just directing calls. A lot of it was from the military, which was weird because the military was AT&T, right? So if you had to get a military phone or whatever, or you were part of the military, which is so many different departments in the States, they would call AT&T, which would be directed to us in Canada, which is fucking hilarious because they outsource everything. and then we would have to direct it to lawyers and subpoenas and all that shit.
Right.
Oh my God, fire! And fucking
Man, you're falling apart right now.
And yeah, so she called me. She was cool about it, and then I was telling her that when you read back like through the actual page that you're looking on, it's just like clicking on a fucking Facebook page. You click on the name underneath the account number, and it shows up with all their activity.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll say like phone call, incoming, outgoing, incoming, outgoing, 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 outgoing. But then you go to text messages.
Yeah.
You can't actually see what they've said. You have to get like a subpoena for that, and that goes to like a whole different like super fucking insane department, like blah blah blah.
Does it give you the actual names of the phone numbers? Or
No,
just
no,
the
no,
number
just
and
the
shit like that?
numbers.
Okay,
So
okay.
she asked me,
So it's not like you
So
can
she-
you can pull up a list of numbers and it's like 1-800 max boobs or something.
No,
like
no,
that.
no,
It's
no.
like-
Yeah, it wouldn't say like when you call me and I can switch on my phone like caller ID or whatever. Like remember how you used to have to turn caller ID on your phone?
Yeah.
Like I had to actively do or pay
Yep.
for it. You remember when you used to have to pay for it?
Yep.
So now when you call me on
You
a
still
phone,
gotta pay for it,
I don't pay for it.
but like
Dude,
it's
sometimes-
it's locked into certain plans.
Dude,
if
my
you're,
mom-
if you're in like a really low tier plan, then you don't get caller ID.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
My mom will text message me from different like work numbers because she gets like new phones all the time. Because like with her job, there's like a fucking. She's high up on what she does. So there's like a security thing, so she get new phones every like 6 months or whatever.
Mhm.
And there's a different number associated with it. And she'll text me, and it'll say in my iPhone, maybe mom. Maybe. Semicolon mom, and it fucks me up every time, man. Every time I'm like, what? But anyway, so this lady asked me to look for a certain number,
Mhm.
and the number was 420-666, 420-69, and I found it, and she was like, okay, like I need you to tell me if you text messaged this person. So I flick over to the text message screen, and I was like, yeah, okay, he did. And she's like, from what time to what time? And I was like, from my recollection, I was like, yeah, it's all day. I didn't know what she was asking for. I didn't know they were husband and wife.
Mhm.
And then she goes, is there any pictures or videos sent? And I was like, well, there's actually quite a few pictures sent from that person's number
Mhm.
she was sharing the account with.
Mhm.
And she was like, can you see them? And I was like, no, you have to get a subpoena to see them. And then you can technically bring back text messages that you've sent within a certain period of time. Your regular employee can't do that. It has to go through like
Yeah.
some
'cause
heavy shit.
That seems like real legal.
Well,
issue.
the fucked
Yeah.
up thing is that it's saved. So when you go through like remember that Kijiji killer case in Ontario here?
Yep.
They had the actual like text message printouts.
Mm-hmm.
So when like they're always like, yeah, we're not saving your shit. We don't have it. We're not
They
keeping.
are like 100%.
Yeah. How?
It all goes to a fucking database, man.
Big fucking database.
Mhm.
So she thought I could see everything.
That's what the NSA was for.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
NSA has all that shit in the States. at least.
I know, but here it's CSIS and their spinoffs, but
Yeah.
still, it's fucking insane that they can
They
just
keep
save
it in massive hard drives in
for
a bunker.
any asshole though. Like that guy
Yeah.
that killed fucking
Dude, you can access that stuff if you go deep enough into the dark web.
I've been pretty
you can
deep.
Fucking, you can
I've
fucking
been
find that shit.
I've been pretty deep.
Nothing's
into-
off limits when it comes to the internet. Like you just need.
Have you ever had a
you
Tor
gotta
browser?
figure out-
You ever had a Tor browser?
No, I haven't had a Tor
Tor
browser.
browsers aren't sick, man. You know what the Tor browser's from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not cool, man. Like the CIA. Well, I think it was the CIA. They were trying to make stuff during the Cold War to, from what I understand, which I could be wrong, was to try and communicate with field ops dudes, and they were trying to make basically an intranet.
Mm.
And then they made it. Obviously, it was great. It was before the internet was awesome, as it is now. Equal parts terrifying. But yeah, they made the Tor browser so regular, other agents, not regular people, but other agencies didn't know what it was because there was no actual access point to it. you had to be from the Tor browser. Like, you had to be logging into a Tor browser to get to it. It was its own intranet. Like, if you don't know a company's intranet, like, shit, you're not going to be able to get into it because it's just unknown to you.
Yeah.
Unless you're, like, fucking super crazy. Which I'm assuming that exists for sure.
You
But
can,
yeah,
you can hack
that's
into those things for sure.
No, I know, but if you don't know it exists, then you can't get into it, especially if it's the first couple things, right? That was their whole thing. Oh, yeah, they have the internet, and everyone else, like, they assumed was using that, and it turned out, like, the KGB and the Germans and all sorts of shit had, like, their own shit for it. The French had another one. Like, everyone had their own thing, because everyone was on the same path. But that's where it came from. And then all of a sudden, contractors that were got out of the CIA were like, oh, yeah, like, this is just really easy to access. And then that's where Silk Road started. So Silk Road started through Tor. That's where that whole thing was from. Which is fucked. The CIA literally was like, yeah, we're going to make this. And then all of a sudden, like, one of the biggest drug trafficking things in the entire history of drug trafficking started through their shit. Which kind of makes you think,
Crazy
right?
loophole.
Yeah.
In a way.
Is it? Because then you get into all the theories about, like, the CIA and shit, like, pumping opioids into the States and, like, into like, impoverished areas and stuff, and you're just like, oh,
yeah,
fuck,
sending crack into the inner cities and stuff. That was like
I think that's
thing.
like a legitimately interesting theory.
Uh-huh.
Theory is a key word, but I think that it's a
yeah.
very, especially based on where things are going now.
Is it still a theory, or is it like...
Well,
Are things actually coming out about that?
No,
'Cause I don't
nothing's
know.
coming
I
out
don't
about
fucking-
that. No, nothing's coming about it. I mean, there's been, like,
I don't
a
know,
lot
man.
of...
Like, get Alex Jones on the horn, dude.
Oh, yeah,
He's
yeah.
got the answers.
But, I mean... Yeah, do you
It's
think...
really fucked up.
I think that's a... Listen, I thought 2 weeks ago...
Well, we know the CIA does some really shifty shit.
Well,
like,
think about it this way. 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, not even, a week and a half ago, I thought that... So I'm 27, which is young, and I thought that maybe by the time I'm 50, the government will legitimately come out. And when I say the government, I mean the North American government or the UN will actually come out and be like, yeah, man, like, there's some shit going on. We don't know what's happening with UFOs. We have something, and it's not from this earth. I didn't honestly, like, you've known me for a while, and I'm sure you've heard me say that, like, as soon as they say aliens are real, I'm not going to work. That was my whole thing for a long time.
Yep.
Well, that happened Friday. It's Tuesday. I've been to work for Monday and today. But basically on Tuesday, they were like, yeah, this shit's real, and we got shit. So
Yeah,
you really don't think that if they can hide that from us, that they were maybe trying to make, like, systemic racism a thing to serve better political gains? I absolutely fucking think that's within their power.
I mean, everyone's just trying to Orwell their way into some type of power. I never thought that the American government would just come out and say anything about aliens.
You don't think disclosure would be a thing?
I always assumed it would get to a critical point where everyone's like, oh,
Too
okay,
obvious.
like, what
Too
the
obvious.
fuck is actually happening? And then they would be forced into something. But now it seems like such a limp dick way of getting into
So
it right
when
now.
they said it on Friday, no one responded. I didn't see shit, and I understand there's a lot of, like, socio-political stuff going on right now. There's a lot of racial shit happening. There's a lot of terrible shit happening in the world, and then you have COVID on top of everything. COVID is the first... Dude, COVID started off fucked up, and it was like, oh, shit. Like, I don't remember, like, everyone changing pace since 9/11. Like, when we were kids. When I was like... You know, remember when you were a kid, and you were like, oh, everyone's, like, weird for a few days, and then it just went back to normal. But this is different.
Yeah.
This is, like, game-changing. Like, COVID. COVID is fucking insane. We've talked about it before. I'm not going to try and get into COVID, but to release that, dude, to come out with that information, like, that is arguably, in my opinion, and I love aliens, and that's like my fucking thing.
Yeah.
I honestly think, that bias aside, I think that this is some of the most important... No, not even that. I think that's one of the most important sentences ever written in press history. Ever. To be honest with you. To literally, in quotations, from the fucking New York Times, to quote someone, dude, and say that we have a craft from a different place, and we don't know where this is from. That's not the actual like quote unquote, but it's basically like, I'm paraphrasing here. We both read it.
It was
that is
something
insane.
Like, this is a craft not made on Earth and shit.
That is insane.
Like that,
that means that literally means that almost every religion is like not. It's just not true. That means that everything you've ever learned.
But do you think they're just saying that?
That's the thing.
Yeah,
But here's the other thing. Why come out?
Because it's another like Orwellian plot.
But no one,
because it's like, okay, all this shit's going down in the States right
no
now
one paid attention
with
to it.
riots. Exactly.
But no one paid attention to it.
But they tried. They tried to distract everybody
you think they're probing? No.
They tried to distract everybody from the riots. By doing something even bigger, but it flopped.
But no one paid attention to that.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
No, if you're gonna fucking come out with disclosure for extraterrestrials, which I know sounds completely crackpot insane, but if you're gonna do that, and you're gonna try and make it a public statement, you're not gonna do that through a couple articles. You're gonna do that through like insane videos. Like CGI shit that the government's passing off as real. That's how I would do it. And that's how they would do it if they were trying to instill fear. But I think maybe they were just throwing that in there to be like, well, we didn't not tell you. It was there. I
don't think they're trying to instill fear. I think they were trying to get the general public to stop paying attention to the riots.
No one reported on that. How about use COVID to not pay attention to the riots?
Other than the Washington Post?
Okay. So, all right, hear me out. Oh, this might get kind of messy.
I think we're talking about two different things here.
No, we're not. What you're saying is it wasn't just the Washington Post. It was the New York Times. It was the Washington Post. I think the Huffington Post had one on it. Vice hasn't really had anything on it, which is hilarious because it's Vice. Because you think that it'd be all over it. It's
appropriate because it's Vice. And
for the record, I fucking can't stand Vice News. Fuck Vice. At one point in time, Vice was cool. They went
downhill hard in the past 3 years.
Yeah, like just completely ridiculous shit. But then again, we aren't journalists. But here's my thing, man. If you're gonna distract people from rioting and stop them from rioting, then make case counts climb. Scare them into that with something that's already going on. Why the fuck are you going to just put out an article that says, like, oh, hey, maybe we have, like, something that's not from here and keep it hush-hush? So when you go on Instagram and you see all the fucking fools that are posting the exact same story to the exact same pool of people that they post to every day that aren't doing fuck all, same people that aren't out in the shit, they're not, like, you and I aren't either, but we're not posting about this stuff. We understand it. It's fine. But these are the same people that are posting the same shit every fucking day about the same cases, about the same fucking shit, the same stuff that's going on. It's like, yeah, man, you're beating a dead horse. We know shit's bad. Let's fucking make a change, right? We've talked about this before. It's happening. It's awesome. I'm all for it. I really want to protest. I don't know. Call me like you can use that whole thing about like silence is fucking violence or whatever. Fuck off. It's not how it is. But you're going to come out and say that like this shit's real? Fuck no. That's them being like, oh, we did not tell you. You're just so distracted looking over to the left that we just dropped something right in front of you. And you're just not going to notice it. So then maybe in a year or two, and they're like, oh, fuck, like, they're here now. They're going to be like, well, why didn't you tell us? And they're like, well, we did, but you were too distracted with this, like, maybe blown out of proportion fucking disease. Maybe not, like, well, I mean, it's not, well, they think
definitely
it's a disease
blown
now.
Out proportion.
Oh, dude, absolutely. Dude, I heard a thing the other day.
It's too fucking
I did the math. I did the math the other day on the Ontario cases.
Yep.
Dude, it's 0.00000.1 or 0.0 like 8 or 9 zeros 13 of the population in Ontario that has it. That has had it.
Yeah.
What?
It's like nothing.
That is infinitesimal to the amount of people that get the flu every fucking year in this province. Just this province and this in Canada. And then you have other countries. Have you seen shit happening in France? Dude, they're on boats. They're fine. Everything's fine. The UK's fine.
Well,
Everything's fine.
they're having spikes in Europe now.
Oh yeah, here and there,
Yeah.
just like they would have the flu. But all of a sudden, the States is just getting ravaged, dude.
Hmm.
Even fucking Rogan brought this up with somebody the other day. He was like, I don't understand why the States is getting hit so hard. Like, I don't get it. Everyone else is so much looser than the States. You think the States are loose? Look at other countries.
Looser
Look at
now.
what fucking Italy did. They didn't give a fuck at first. Then all of a sudden they quarantine everyone. It's fine. And now
Yeah.
they're back. They were back at it before the States
Because
were.
they went with their quarantine even harder.
Yeah,
The
but then
States-
now,
the States didn't.
but now they're back at it fine.
Yeah.
Italy's fine.
The States never
Europe
did
is
that.
fine. Like they're not
That's
fine.
that's
but
the problem. The states never did that initially. A couple of states actually cracked down on it. Most of the states didn't. The thing is, like the way the American system works.
Yeah, you have-
the president can't
yeah,
tell everybody
no.
what to do.
he's basically not. He basically
The
calls
states
war,
just
yeah,
the
he
states
basically
just
calls
do
fuck-
whatever the fuck they want.
war shots. That's what he calls.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
And
doesn't
that's why you
really,
have
like-
that's why you have like 3 trillion cases in Florida because they didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. I still think it's strange that it hit the States a lot harder because even in Canada, there are provincial opportunities to not mandate masks. Blah blah blah. The state still
Yeah,
has.
yeah.
The state still has, and the president and like all of his fucking Senate and all that bullshit. Just like in Canada, just like in most UN fucking.
But the difference
Countries,
here in
they still-
Canada
they-
is
but
like
they still
it's
have the
it's
power.
culture. It's
I know,
culture,
but
right?
but the federal
people in
government.
Canada are a little bit more willing to play
Yeah,
ball.
but the feds in any country, if you want to just like for layman's terms call them the feds, still have authoritative power to be like, listen, I run the fucking place.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you're gonna do. I don't give a shit if you have a problem with it. This is a federal mandate. The states never did that.
yeah.
Canada never did that. We didn't do that.
Yeah.
We didn't. We did not do that. We just started wearing masks in Ontario. Not even all of Ontario, dude. Just southern. Just some parts of Ontario. Certain pockets.
Yeah.
Like high density pockets. Like the GTA, I can understand. Niagara.
For whatever reason, it wasn't mandated first.
No, it wasn't mandated first, but now it's mandated. Like,
Now
what?
it's like,
Are you
yeah, you
are
gotta
like,
wear
come
it.
on. Come on. If you have the flu.
Now when everything is opening, now it's
I
the
gotta
time
wear
to
masks
actually give a
inside.
shit.
But
Like,
you didn't close corner stores throughout COVID. I could go buy smokes. Nothing was closed. They were still considered
no,
essential.
crazy, right?
I didn't notice anything closed. The only thing I noticed was like music stores. Couldn't buy drumsticks. That was it.
Mm.
Could still buy smokes. Could still go buy fucking booze. Could still buy weed. I could still get weed delivered to my house from fucking dispensaries. They didn't give a
Dude,
fuck.
yeah, man.
Nothing closed. Nothing changed for me. I just got to stay off work for a bit because I got free money.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand it, honestly, like a lot more than other people do because my mom had to fucking work for it or work with it. Like in
Yeah,
healthcare.
work,
Like
yeah.
I've told you the stories, man.
So,
She bagged up a lot of
frontline
people.
Worker, right?
Yeah, fuck. I mean, more than frontline if you can even get there. I would say she was more than some of the most of the
She's ahead of the
hospitals here.
line.
Yeah, she was dealing with everything, and like I heard some stories, and even my mom was like, "Yeah, this shit doesn't add up, man." Because it's weird. It's a weird thing. It's not like a
You think they should open up schools?
fuck no, fuck no. As soon as you start risking the lives of children, I think that you are money hungry and you're a fucking douchebag.
I don't think a lot of kids get it.
It's not about the kids, dude. It doesn't have to do with the actual kids. It has to do with the premise of putting children in danger. And people don't know what this disease
Yeah, well, the
does.
kids get the flu, and kids
yeah,
actually
but this
die
is,
from the flu.
Okay, yeah, and yeah,
but you never
that's-
shut down
that's- that's-
schools during flu season.
No, but if you don't understand something and you've shut down the entire world, basically,
Mhm.
based on this pandemic, which has killed arguably less than a lot of things. I mean, that's kind of a bold statement, but last time I think we talked about numbers, it was 400,000 or 500,000 under the amount that influenza kills every year, which is close to 1 million people. That was the last time we talked about this, which was
Right.
months ago. I don't know what the global death toll is. Even if it's 2 million, that's not a lot of fucking people. There's a million, and a billion, dude. And
Yeah.
there's 7 billion people on Earth. Not a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people. As much as people want to be like, oh, there's a lot of people dying. Not really. That's one
Mm-hmm.
ant colony. That's one fucking ant colony, dude. It sucks. It would suck if like one of our friends died or one of our parents died. It would suck.
It would suck.
Big time. But in the grand scheme of things, if you're looking at it numerically, and mathematically, I guess mathematically would be the right way to say it. It's not that many people, and quite honestly, we can do with a lot less people. Well, we could. I mean, dude, the QEW is way too busy in rush hour, man. Come on. But you know what I'm saying. So like you're gonna shut down. You're gonna shut down basically the entire fucking. Let's just say the North American economy and everything. You're gonna not shut it down, but you're gonna put it on hold. Essentially, is what they did, which is fine. You're gonna freeze all these workers. You're gonna basically force people into working through these phases, which are super weird when you still don't even know what the fuck this thing is, so to speak. They still don't know what it is. They still don't know how to cure it. Blah 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 fucking blah. And then all of a sudden you're gonna go into phase 3 a month out from September. And you're going to be like, oh, yeah, we don't know what it is yet. We still don't know how it transfers. Maybe wearing masks is good. No one's wearing gloves. There's hand sanitizer everywhere, but no one fucking uses it because 9 times out of 10. Yeah, you'll use it, but you're a decent person. Every time I go into like Home Depot and shit for work, I'm using the shit.
Yeah.
Dude, we saw... Sorry, I didn't see this. Scott, my good friend, his girlfriend was telling me that I was hanging out with him on Friday. Last Friday, and she was telling me and Scott that she saw somebody go in to a place in Oakville, a privileged rich kid in that town, which you can imagine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I get it.
She went into a department store, looked at the hand sanitizer station, and apparently the girl went, "I'm not touching that. That's gross."
Touching the sanitizer
Yeah.
is gross?
But you have to realize that is the mentality of so many people. Because people don't understand things.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Well,
imagine...
thinking something that kills germs, that's the only purpose for it, is somehow gross?
Crazy. But then
weird.
you also have anti-maskers and all this shit. Dude, I don't give a fuck if wearing a mask doesn't like protect someone else 100% from COVID. If I have to go into a place and I have to wear a mask, fuck yeah, I'll wear a mask. I went into a restaurant earlier tonight when I went to get food before this. I forgot my mask. I stood at the door. I asked the guy for food. He was cool, whatever. At the same point, dude didn't have the plexiglass shit hanging up. Wasn't wearing gloves. Didn't see him wash his hands once. Like, come on. Fuck you, buddy. Like,
yeah, that's
I'm taking yeah, I know. But still. But that's like a lot of the states, and that's like a lot of even Canada. You have all these anti-mask protests and shit. And it's like, dude, listen, I've been wearing a mask for the last 5 years. I work almost every fucking day doing concrete and shit. You can breathe fine in it, man. And I'm wearing masks that are like actual respirators that suck. You're literally sucking air. If I can wear that for 4 or 5 hours, I mean breaks in between, right? But it's the same thing when you get in your car or whatever. Or you're walking down the street. You don't need to wear it. It's not airborne. It's not fucking anthrax. You're fine. It's not a chemical warfare attack. You're not going to breathe it in from the air.
I don't understand the anti-mask thing. Like it's just barely people, an issue.
It's literally just people. What I think is just being like, no.
You saw the Toronto protest for it like a few weeks ago, right?
I didn't see it. I heard about it from
and people went on
the
subway.
Oh yeah, with masks on. Because they had to ride the subway. The only way they could get on the subway is to wear masks.
Yeah.
The leader of that entire protest, however the fuck you are, Toronto guy, you're a douchebag. He fucking went to get a tattoo before they actually went to the protest downtown. There's footage of him getting tattooed with a mask on.
Yeah.
But he was doing it for a favor to the artist.
Yeah.
Well, you're completely.
So
like,
who cares? Like, what the fuck are you even doing?
It doesn't matter, man. I don't wear a mask because I have it. That's the whole thing, right? Like everyone's saying, like, I don't wear a mask because I have it. I wear a mask because maybe I'm asymptomatic. They don't know if anyone's asymptomatic. They have no idea that's a thing. They have no fucking clue. They have no idea what's going on. There's been no study saying that asymptomatic people are legitimate. That it's happening. It's all just kind of like weird medical guesswork.
Everything's super up in the air.
Yeah. So it is safer just to wear a mask. I understand that. If we know that it can be like the common flu, it can be passed through droplets, which a lot of people don't understand. The droplets aren't visible like spit. Droplets are like things that you can't see.
Molecules in the air.
Yeah, man.
seeping into your pores,
That's
killing
why
you
the
from the
6
inside.
feet thing is important, but also if you look at someone like through like
It's
slow
still
motion that
doable. Like,
sneezes.
it's think that this
6 feet
that
is
shit
not
is
far
so
apart.
fucking random. Like you never even know. Do you think we jumped the gun on getting into phase 3? Because we were in phase 2 for like 2 fucking weeks, and they're like, let's do it.
Oh, there will be a second. There will be a second wave. 100%.
Yeah.
I know.
I feel like all
4
of this is a
people-
little bit too quick, and nobody even knows what is going on.
Yeah,
Like,
I have 4 people.
People are just like crushing beers at the bar now.
Yeah.
Like it's a normal fucking day.
I have 4 people in my immediate family that work in either healthcare or emergency services. This is within my own family that you've met. Sorry, 3. And fucking my mom and dad specifically are like, yeah, no, there's gonna be phase 3, or sorry, not phase 3, like wave 2.
Second wave, yeah.
Because we're jumping it.
Yeah.
Like you saw the shit at the bar, like in Hamilton. Like
Mm.
you're gonna tell me that I have to wear a mask going into every public place, but you're gonna let people into a bar to drink alcohol, and which is the most disruptive and irresponsible thing that you can do recreationally, legally.
Mhm.
Right? You're going to let people into an establishment that you can do that. I mean, as we're sitting
Yeah.
here drinking, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, you get drunk and you see a buddy, you're going to hug him.
Yeah.
Even you might not have seen him in 6 months because you've just been under quarantine, but you're at that fucking bar, dude.
Yeah, you're gonna spit in each other's mouths.
Oh, yeah, for sure, dude. Every time I see you, I spit in your mouth, man.
Yeah.
But that's the reality, though. Is that's what's fucked up about it. It's like, oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, phase 3, roll it out. It's fine. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, the fucking,
many fucking
the,
people are
the
gonna die?
The Douglas just like, do it. Standing
It's
there
all
like
money, dude.
standing like there like a fucking monolith of a human being.
It's all money, though, man. What do you
Yeah,
like,
I mean, like at this rate, it's like,
but that's not essential.
yeah, but like,
That's not
are you,
essential.
are you just gonna let people redline? Like businesses just fucking crush into the rocks.
How about you just kind of maybe
and,
like
and
you
be
know,
like, hey, maybe we can do this thing where you can let some people in, and then maybe you could make some fucking money to pay your rent.
So
at least.
imagine if the common cold popped up and COVID wasn't a thing. Common cold. You've had the cold.
Yeah,
Have you ever had like the cold bad,
yeah,
where it gets gnarly and you're
Uh-huh.
bedridden and you're fucked?
yeah.
People die from the cold. Influenza. People fucking die.
Yeah.
Or not the cold, the flu.
I mean, it's fucking.
I meant to
it's
say
hard.
the
It's
flu.
hard. It's
I apologize.
really
I
hard
meant
in
to
the
say the
West
flu.
to die from the cold. But
just hear me out.
Yeah.
I meant to say the flu. So
Yeah.
influenza.
people
So you
die
get
from
the
the
flu.
flu for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, people died of the flu. Where we just like completely denying people from going out when the flu started? Obviously not, because we didn't have the best medicine and all that shit. But if the flu
No.
started right now, the only way and
There
this
was
isn't-
some quarantine
this-
during the Spanish flu.
I realize that, but the only way, and even during the Spanish flu, is technically it basically developed was like, well, the only way you're gonna fucking figure this out is if you're exposed to it. That's it.
Yeah.
You have to be.
Yeah.
You have to be.
It's
So
like
if you're
it's
gonna
a
fucking
real, it's
stay
a dark it's a
inside-
dark thought, but like you can't save everybody.
No, you can't. People
I mean,
are gonna fucking
50
die.
million
It's gonna
people
suck.
died
It's gonna suck
from
Oh, that
Spanish
sucks.
flu.
That
and
sucks,
it's
dude.
like
That is.
but now
less
it's
than
like
1% of the.
but
of
now
the
like
earth.
the average person can get the flu and be fucking fine.
Dude,
with
I've had
it.
the flu 1,000 million times. It sucks. You just get it and you shit your brains out or you puke. It sucks.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
bummer.
rough,
It sucks.
but you get through it.
But you also like don't get like fucking exiled from society if you have it.
True.
There's no
Yeah,
cure
yeah.
for it, but there's no
You
cure
ever
for
had,
it.
you have the flu when you're a kid, and your mom just like brings you fucking grilled cheese.
Oh, but hey, there's
It's
a flu
like,
shot.
oh,
but
but like,
Luke,
okay, cool.
there's a vaccine. There's a flu shot. You got your flu shot before?
Never.
You've never had your flu shot?
Not
I've had my
once.
flu shot. I've still gotten the flu. Sucks. I'm not an anti-vaxxer at all.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
not
saying
perfect.
that. No.
Yeah, the flu vaccine's
So
not
when,
perfect.
So when does this
Because
go away?
they develop it on speculation. It's not actually
they
made
develop
for
it-
the flu.
well, they develop
they
it
have,
what's-
they have to make it beforehand, and they're just speculating on what kind of flu is going
Yeah,
to
so
mutate each year.
they develop it based on, like you said, like based on what it is that year. But it evolves.
Sometimes-
right?
sometimes
it's
they don't know
it's an organism.
exactly what's gonna happen,
It's
yeah.
a living fucking thing. As much as you want to think that it doesn't.
I wish
think
there was a
and
way of
move
like
you do,
eradicating it,
but But no, you don't, because you'd have so many more people on the highway. Dude, if I'm one of the dudes that dies, then that fucking sucks, man. But like, that's just kind of the way it works.
People
No
have
one's
to
special.
die.
No one's special. No one.
That's kind of
like,
that's kind of
not
the
how
thing
it
about
works.
life. Like people
Oh, yeah.
do have to die. Eventually.
Yeah, everyone forgets that. Everyone forgets that, like, oh shit, like maybe you will die one day, and this is your this is how you do it. Hope you did good. It's not going to be special. You're not special.
That's why you gotta live every day like it's your last, man. That's it, man. That's such a true statement. It's more real every year I get older.
Yeah, everybody's a bitch. You
are.
can't live every. Oh yeah, absolutely. Do you think I live
Not
every
me,
day?
man. I'm
Dude,
fucking great.
if I lived every day like it was my last, I would be in jail every day for 25 years plus if it was my last. Come on, man. Like if you lived
I don't know,
every.
like, do you really want to do it that way?
No. I just mean like you would just be like being
Fucking
an asshole.
rob people and shit?
No, man. But like you'd be like, oh man, like. No, you just No, it would like. That's a good way.
Sure,
That's a good
I'm sure
way
if
to
everybody,
think,
if
but-
everyone in the world thought they could die tomorrow, I'm sure a lot of people would be like, okay, it's go time, and they'd probably do some really heinous shit.
That,
Obviously.
Yeah, that's maybe why they didn't tell us the aliens were real and they're trying to harvest us for meat.
Yeah.
We would all just do insane shit. Or people like me would be like, I'm not going to work anymore.
Yeah. I mean, if the government came out and was like, their disclosure wasn't just, oh, we've got crafts that we don't know are from Earth. They could be from fucking anywhere. If they
What do you mean
actually-
anywhere,
if-
dude? There's only one other place, and that's not fucking here. What do you mean anywhere?
There's other
Don't
planets.
fucking piss me off.
There's
I
other
know there's other
planets.
planets, but that means that they're not from Earth.
Yeah.
That means that there's fucking aliens.
Okay, let me finish this thought here.
Fuck me.
If instead of saying that, they actually said, oh, the fucking, like, these aliens have been around for thousands of years, and they fucking engineered us, and Giorgio Tsoukalos is fucking right.
Oh, as soon as
And
you,
it's
as
like,
soon as you say,
if-
I'm
if
fucking,
they
I'm gonna put a
fucking-
pistol in my mouth. I'm done. If Giorgio Tsoukalos
If they
is
came
the
out and
new
they're like,
Jesus, I'm
you know
done.
what, Giorgio was fucking right.
No, I'm done, dude. At that point, I'm gonna eat a gun. I'm done. I'm done on that. If Giorgio Tsoukalos, whatever the fuck his name is like, yeah, I am like 100% right, I'm out. That means that mermaids are real, that Atlantis is real, that the Earth is hollow, the moon is hollow, it's a projection also.
Dude, the
Fuck that
moon is
dude.
a satellite.
Yeah, also that.
Clearly.
No, fuck that guy. Also,
It's just a gigantic alien base.
Dude, Jeremy Corbell, I don't like that guy.
That guy sucks ass.
Yeah, he sucks dick.
Yeah.
I like George Knapp. I like listening to him speak because he's like, I don't
Yeah.
know if it's true. Jeremy
Bob
Corbell
Lazar,
is a
too.
fucking shill, dude.
The guy,
Bob
yeah,
Lazar
he always
and-
comes on and he's like,
And
fuck.
when you listen to their shit, Rogan's always just like,
Hey, Jeremy, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it
I'm
got
gonna
like
put you in a goddamn chokehold.
Yeah, pretty much, man. I was showing Scott so I went to hang out with him on Friday after work. I went to his house. We had a fucking good time on Lake Ontario on the shore, like straight on the beach.
Ooh, Lake Ontario.
And I've seen some weird shit on Lake Ontario. I used to go there a lot when I was more sad than I am now.
Like Torontonians?
What? No, he's like in Hamilton, like on the Hamilton side.
You said you've seen weird shit. And I'm like,
Oh
like
no,
Torontonians.
like lights. I've seen like straight up not being like I'm not being a douchebag or just trying to be like, oh, I saw something, dude. I want to be included. Straight up, like I think I've told you about this before. When so my grandmother used to take me to this spot sometimes on Lake Ontario, right off Trafalgar. You drive all the way down and you go there or whatever. So I used to sit on the rocks and I would just used to go there and smoke a joint and 1,000 cigarettes and have a beer or whatever and then just fucking relax for a couple hours and drive home. But that sounded irresponsible. But I would do it for like over the course of like 4 or 5 hours. I'd go there like 9 o'clock. I'd sit till like 1 o'clock in the morning, and just like that was like my place where I was at peace. I was like just on the lake. I would do that like nightly for like 3 or 4 months, winter or spring, summer doesn't matter. That was my spot. That's where I went to like, kind of, just like fucking. I mean, we had this place at the time, so I could come play drums. And it's not that it was a farther drive. It's just that that's where I felt at peace, you know? It was like a spot that she took me, and we were really close, and like I just felt good there. So I'd go there, and there was a couple times where I saw some weird shit out of the water, man. Some straight up weird shit. And I was telling Scott about it because he's living in Lake Ontario for the last 3 or 4 years. I think 3 years, maybe 3.5 years. And he saw the same shit around the exact same time that I would have seen it,
Mm-hmm.
which was 3 years ago.
Mm.
So what I saw was I was sitting on the shore, and Lake Ontario is very wide.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also very wide, even from Oakville Shore to Niagara Shore. Like, it's fucking hundreds of kilometers. Like, it's fucked.
Yeah.
Maybe not hundreds, but at least it's over 100. It's a lot. It's a lot of kilometers. So if you shot a flare out, you've seen like videos of a flare. You shot a flare. It lights the sky up. I saw this fucking light, man, and I swear on my grandma's ring on my finger. This light just fucking came, not out of the water, but it rose like off the horizon. Because when you're looking at a lake at night, especially that big, it's a goddamn ocean. Like, it's huge. Lake Ontario is
Yeah.
fucking stupid.
It's an inland sea.
Yeah,
It's huge.
that's what they would classify it as now. Actually, there was a paper on that.
Yeah, all the Great Lakes.
Yeah, inland seas. So yeah, and you can't see the other side, especially at night. It's not a small lake. If anyone listens to this and they don't know what the fuck it looks like, it's massive, so big. You could actually fit. I think I looked it up once. You can fit almost 600,000 Lake Ontarios into the Pacific Ocean. That's a lot.
Damn.
If you understand how big Lake Ontario is, that's huge. Like, Lake Ontario is massive, dude. Like, massive. So anyway, I watched this thing.
You ever been to the ocean?
I've only seen it once. I've seen the Pacific, or no, the Atlantic once, off the coast of New Jersey. That would be the Atlantic, right?
Mm.
Yeah, I was there once. It was
The Atlantic's fucking crazy, man.
yeah, it kind of just looked like a Lake Ontario.
You got in?
No, fuck. I just stood on the rock.
Dude, swimming in the Atlantic is insane.
Yeah, it's probably cold as fuck and super scary.
Oh, the undertow is so fucking strong.
Oh yeah, well,
It's hard to get out of it.
Depending on what shore you're on, I'm assuming. But
I was in, where the fuck was I? Off the coast of Cape Cod in Massachusetts.
Okay, all right. So not far from where we were.
This small
Oh,
island
shit.
called Martha's Vineyard.
Martha's Vineyard. Oh. But anyway, dude, I
A lot
saw.
of clams out
I
there.
don't like clams, man.
I
Yeah,
love
fuck
clams.
that. I saw this thing, like, not a thing, like a straight up, like, a small sun is exactly what I could describe it as.
Mhm.
Like, just start on the horizon. It was all of a sudden just there. Like,
Mhm.
I didn't see it, like, appear. I just looked up and it was there. And I looked up and it was just rising slowly. And it got to, like, its fucking pinnacle. And it hung there for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And you can actually ask Mike about it, because I sent Mike videos of it on an old iPhone.
Mm.
I don't know if I have the iPhone still, or maybe I have the videos through iCloud. But you can ask Mike about it. I sent them to him because I was like, "What the fuck is this?" This was like, fuck, man, 4 years ago probably.
Okay.
Yeah, and I sent it to him in that moment, and I was like, "Man, like I'm this isn't a star. This is something weird." And I understand that Hamilton Airport is that way, but this thing hung there.
Mhm.
And then what fucked me up when I started filming it is when it went down.
Mm.
Like,
Okay.
literally just like this for like 5 minutes, man. Just like straight down. Then it hit the horizon of the water. And then it hit the water. And it was gone. Flares, when you shoot a flare, actually light the sky up. This didn't light the sky up. It was just like this fucking solid, like, light. It was just like this light that was there. And I saw it like, I think twice. 2 or 3 times. I went back and I saw similar shit. Lake Ontario is actually a hotbed for similar things. If you look, I know I sound crazy right now, but if you look up on MUFON, which I know we talked about how many hot dog carts are at the MUFON conventions,
Yeah.
probably a lot. But
It's one big cart.
Yeah, it's one big cart. That got me good. But a lot of shit that comes out of Canada and specifically Toronto is all based around Lake Ontario, and it's apparently even from the state side, it's a very hot, like not the state side, but like Niagara side and like all that. Oh, I guess it would go to the states.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
Upstate New York.
yeah, upstate New York, so even their side, like they see shit. Like it's a very, like it's not just like a one-off thing. Like for a couple people to see it, it's like very reported. So Scott told me he lived in Lake Ontario, and we got to know each other better, and we realized that we were both like into kind of like weird paranormal shit, and it's fun to talk about whatever. That's really kind of all it is. And then he goes, like, I've seen some weird shit, like just living on the beach, and like he's out there, like we were out there till like fucking 5 in the morning, just sitting there. On Friday, and we started to talk about this again, but he was like, when we first talked about it, it was like 6 months ago, and he was like, yeah, I've seen the same thing. Like legitimately the same thing, same time of year. He's like, I've seen it more than once. So we fucking go out Friday night, and sure enough, we're hanging out, and we're drinking beers, and I swear to fucking God, dude, Grandma's ring, there was a fucking light just hanging above Lake Ontario. So we're just like looking at it, and I'm like, I love the stars and shit. So I'm looking at like the light pollution that comes off of like Toronto, and then in turn Niagara, and then Hamilton, right? So when you're on Burlington Shore of Lake Ontario, you can't see shit, but there are more stars than normal when you're in the city. So if you look at a star, it's like far up there, like they're fucking faint. The only bright thing in the sky is the moon, always. Yeah, you can see Jupiter. Yeah, you can see Mars sometimes, but they're always like behind the moon, like you can tell. Maybe not specifically behind the moon based on where the moon is at that time, but you understand that the moon is closer, so it's brighter. Therefore, like when you look at Mars, you got to have a really fucking good eye and know what you're looking at, right? Like you can't just look up and be like, oh, there's Mars. You can't. You got to know where it is. It's faint. This fucking thing was bright, like McDonald's sign, yellow, bright, and it just hung there.
Damn.
Forever. So we go inside to get beers. We come back out. I'm not making this up. And Scott's girlfriend goes, it wasn't there when you guys left. It literally stopped. We came back out on the trail, and she was like, what the fuck? As soon as you guys came back, it blinked on. And we're
Fucking
staring
weird.
at this thing for hours, and it didn't fucking move. So Scott was
Damn.
like, it's got to be something. So he was like, I'm going to download like some fucking bullshit. Like, I just want to know where the stars are. Maybe it's Mars. So he looks up where Mars is, and it's like a free astronomy app, and he's like doing this where like the map on the screen follows where you're looking.
Yeah, I've used that app.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, cool. It says the Little Dipper's there. Actually, it's behind us. So it wasn't correct. And I was like, that's not Mars. There's no way. Because that would mean that Mars is brighter than the moon, which is physically, as far as we know it, impossible. Because if Mars was closer than the moon, we would just fucking die. Like that, you're fucked. But it was weird. I'm not saying it was anything crazy, but I was just like, we were looking at it being like, and I was trying to explain to him, like, that's not a normal star. They're not that bright. Because stars are a certain thing, and most of the stars that you see are already supernovaed and they're gone. So we're looking at it, and I'm like, that's not a star, man. Like, that's something fucking weird. And we stared at it for hours. Like, I don't know what the fuck it was. It could have been something. I have no idea. I guess it wasn't flying, though. It was just sitting there. Like, literally just in the same spot for, like, 4 or 5 hours.
Damn.
But his girlfriend swears that when we went inside, it was gone. And then we came
That's
back
fucked
out,
up.
and as we were walking up, she's like, fuck, and it was back. It was weird, dude. But there's a lot of shit like that. There's a lot
I
of
gotta
dudes.
hang out at Lake Ontario more.
Dude, Lake Ontario is terrifying.
I don't
Did
go
you know
there
the
at
Avro, You know the Avro Arrow?
Yeah.
It's actually at the bottom of Lake Ontario, the first one. The first test flight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they haven't recovered it yet. They have no idea where it is. Straight up, no, not a
Damn.
lie. Yeah, it's at the bottom of Lake Ontario.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, there's like a lot of shit at the bottom of Lake Ontario.
Oh,
Like
I'm
the,
sure.
the,
yeah.
the shipwrecks from like back like in the early 1900s or in the probably almost in the thousands, I would assume.
There's definitely a lot of ships under there.
Well, like you said, it's like it's an inland sea, right? Like shit gets insane. You have something that's like
There's definitely some old British ships.
Oh, it's like, dude, it's like
They're in there.
800. It's like 800 kilometers across at a certain point or something like that. Like it's fucking huge.
Huge.
And then that's not even the biggest one.
No.
So his girlfriend's parents came over or not parents, a family came over from Peru or Argentina. Peru or Argentina. Anyway, they were driving across the Skyway, and they were like to Romy and Scott. They were like, oh, like what sea is this?
What sea?
Yeah, or what ocean is that, or whatever. And they were like, oh, it's Lake Ontario. And they were like, no, like you can see the other side of a lake.
Nah, bitch.
Yeah, like exactly.
This is real. Welcome to Canada. Everything's
exactly.
big.
Yeah, everything's fucking huge. But I've never seen Lake Superior. How fucking big is that, dude? It's like twice the size of Lake
Fucking
Ontario,
crazy.
no? Like,
I
it's
think
massive.
I think Lake Erie is wider than Ontario, though.
Yeah, but it's shallow.
Mm-hmm.
It's very shallow. Did you hear about the fucking shit in the, I think it's the Pacific. I could be wrong. I was reading about it the other day on, unfortunately, Instagram. But it was like a post from National Geographic or something. But it was like a picture that was taken underwater. It was looking down at the ocean floor, and there's a giant, like, hole in the ocean floor.
Mm-hmm.
But it's blue. As if you're looking up. Yeah, no, it's a straight up thing. Look it up. It's like I'm not making this up. I'm not paraphrasing anything. It's a legitimate thing. There's holes in the ocean floor that are called like blue pockets or something stupid. I'll send you the link after. And yeah, they like it's like some sort of.
That's the opening to Hollow Earth, man.
Yeah, fucking for sure, dude.
Yeah.
But but it looks like there's light.
Holy shit.
Through like phosphorescence.
Evanescence. Fuck.
I'm trying to
How
say
does that
evanescence
even-
right now.
That's really bad.
No,
I don't know how that even like works out. Like it's just.
Well, you've seen the photos or like the.
Is it is it the type of fucking bedrock or something? Is
no,
it more reflective?
it's really deep. They haven't dove down that deep because it's that fucking deep. They're just starting to go there. This is a recent thing. In like the last 10 years, they found them. Like they figured out like, oh fuck, what is that? We got to go down there. But the technology, like throughout the years, and this year is the year that they're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna go down there. This is like thousands of feet under the shit. Like Mariana's Trench deep, but there's like a fucking, maybe not that deep, but there's like there's holes, like all over the planet that are like in the floor that go more, but they're blue. Like if you're looking down at it, it shows a light, but they think it's from phosphorescence. I would believe is the term. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Like because there's a difference between that water and the other water, and like they think that maybe you can filter light differently, and like it gets down there and it radiates it back up. It's all fucking speculation, but it's something along those fucking stupid science terms. But it just goes to show you that you don't really know what's going on. Like at any point in time, they could just be like, "Yo, there's fucking sharks that walk in the jungle, bro." And you'd be like, oh, fuck,
like, okay, yeah, it's fine. It's 2020. I get it.
Yeah.
Like,
this is the funniest year. It's the funniest year.
This is the fucking who cares year. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I care about is drinking this fucking banana beer, dude.
It's good beer. Fuck you.
It's not, man. It tastes like bananas.
Dude, like, you know the,
It's like a plantain.
You know, like old sitcoms, near the end of their season, they would have like an episode that would just recap everything that happened in the season.
Yeah.
2020 is basically that year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have.
You got fucking protests. You got a pandemic. You got maybe a war.
I don't want that.
All the shit that's happened in the past 20 years just condensed into one action-packed fucking summer.
Man, all I was stoked for was like straight up just aliens.
Aliens, man. We need aliens here.
Yeah, this whole pandemic shit's like...
It's not as cool as aliens.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
If they were like, instead of COVID, if they were like, yo, listen, they're here. They're helping us. We didn't build the pyramids. I'm not, like, that's my line. I'm not going to work. Like, my line almost got crossed on Friday when they were like, oh, you have something from a different world. Fuck that. How are you not fucking losing your shit about this, dude? As soon as they were like, yeah, we have something from a different world, how are you not just, like, losing your fucking mind every day? It doesn't even matter if it's true.
I think some people definitely are.
You're not.
I'm not because
Why?
I've been following this shit for a long
I
time.
know. I
know
have
it's
too.
fucking real.
I've been following it for longer than most people I know. I love this shit, man. I grew up on it. I fucking love aliens. I love it. I love all of it. You know my favorite movie. For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Don't make me say it.
Yeah.
Favorite movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's about aliens.
They're aliens.
But for real, dude. Like they like on Friday they were like, "Yo, it's legit. We have something from a different place." And no one that I know except for the 3 people. I told Brody about it, and he was just like, "Huh, crazy." Literally on the couch. Literally
That's
on
a
the
good
couch,
Brody response.
dude. On the couch, watching golf, just being like, not even golf, dude. Reruns of golf.
Holy shit.
Highlights from years ago.
Is he a dad?
And I fucking hope not. And I was just like, dude, they just said this. I was losing my fucking mind. And he just went, huh? Crazy. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get profusely drunk. Because fuck you. Because
Why are you angry about it?
because you got to care.
Yeah, people
It's a
care.
big... You don't care. No
I
one
care.
cares. Yeah, I just see people, they're going to get coffee and shit in the morning, and I'm like, dude, do you understand that you just said they got something from out there that you don't know about? It's over there.
Yeah.
You don't know about it. You don't know where it came from, but
Yeah.
but they told you that it's from a different place, and you're just going to get coffee, like if
Yeah,
it's fucking
it's
nothing.
not as good as fucking venti lattes.
That's what sucks, dude.
Apparently.
I'm gonna pay $8 for a coffee that is made out of a fucking machine that goes, "Ugh," and it spits out the fucking coffee, and that's what it is. That's what we've done. We have done that. This is what I'm getting at. We have made it so you can go to Starbucks and then you can put a fucking drinking vessel in front of a nozzle, and then the nozzle goes, "Ugh," and it spits out fucking Fenty Laffys or whatever the fuck they are
Venti latte.
into your fucking cup, and you drink it. And you drink it, dude, and you go, yeah, that's good. I like that. I want to watch more Netflix now. And then they just go, yeah, dude, but we have something that's not from here, but it is here, but we think it's from somewhere else. And then you just go, I just need McDonald's. And then you eat the McDonald's, and then that's all you fucking do. And
Is
then you
that
go
the
home.
sound the burger
Yeah,
machine
no,
makes?
I don't give a fuck. That's what everything makes. And then you turn Netflix on, and Netflix is like, and then you fucking watch Netflix, and you're like, oh, dude, I'll watch Sons of Anarchy for the next time. Again, for the second time. There's nothing else to watch. Tiger King's done now, so I'll watch this. Fuck you, dude. Fuck that. It pisses me off. Dude, they literally are being like, yeah, we have shit from a different place, a different world. And you're just like going to Timmy's, being like, ugh! And then you give them money, and they give you something, and then that's it. And then you go home, and then you eat it, or drink it, or whatever the fuck you want to do, and you fix your eyes on a screen in your little apartment, and that's all you see. And then you go on social media, and you're like, oh shit, COVID. I gotta stay inside more, even though they just found a fucking spacecraft. And then not even the fact they found a fucking spacecraft, dude. The fact that fucking 2 weeks ago, I mean, you can talk as much shit as you want about George Knapp. He's probably fucking shill. I don't think Bob Lazar is, but Jeremy Corbell's still a fucking wiener, at least when he talks. But maybe he's not as much of a wiener as To the Stars and fucking Tom DeLonge. I miss you, the fucking douchebag. But yeah, I don't believe Tom DeLonge
Hey man,
at
I
all.
love Tom DeLonge.
I don't believe his alien shit, dude. The guy's a fucking... I don't believe it.
Nice guy, great voice.
Oh, buddy, you think I'm mad about people drinking fucking Starbucks? Ugh, and they're fucking... Man, no, fuck Tom DeLonge. Also, fuck Mark Hoppus for ever letting Tom DeLonge sing the song Always. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Inside my head. Fuck that guy. I fucking... No. But, you see what I'm getting at? You just you go watch Netflix and that's it. That's fucking great.
It's easier for most people to just get home from work and turn off and never think about anything ever.
I can't do that. I would...
I know you can't do that. But most people love doing that because it's fucking easier than actual thought.
Dude, I'm gonna eat a gun before I go home from work and fucking just sit there and be like, and just make popcorn and fucking microwave a fucking Michelinas, and I sit there and I'm shoving it into my fucking face. Like, just cut up hot dogs and macaroni, dude. Just, like, IV dripped into my arm, and then Netflix is up. That's 10 years from now. That's it. And you're just Wall-E people. You're just floating around on beds. Teslas now make beds, and you just float around on it. Fuck that.
We're getting close to that.
Dude, you hear about Elon Musk and his whole fucking bullshit? Like, I liked Elon Musk until 2 days ago. When I heard that he was like, yeah, we're going to put chips in your brain, and they're going to make it play. And then all of a sudden...
You just heard of that?
Yeah.
Dude, that's been around for a long time.
I know it's been. I heard about it before, but now like
Neuralink.
I know the Neuralink thing. I've heard him talk about it years ago, but now the public's talking about it, which means that he's gone public with the idea. The patent has now been passed. It's in production, probably. There's testing, probably.
I think he's finally gotten human testing.
Dude, did you hear that the actual point of it is to the point where you don't have to actually think? Or sorry, not think. You don't have to vocalize. You can actually just be like, oh, you have an iPhone in your fucking brain mind?
Yeah.
Let's airdrop, bro.
Yeah.
And then you fucking have an orgasm for a second, and then all of a sudden you know everything I think.
You think the chip can just make you gasm?
Dude, if I can have a chip that makes me gasm, don't put it in me. Because I'll just never do work again.
It's dangerous. If you have a fucking orgasm button on your phone, the orgasm app, that just syncs up with your Neuralink, and you're just tapping it all fucking day.
Tops like twice a day for the gasm, and then I'm burnt out. I don't want to do that anymore. It's not fun. It just makes my brain tired, and I'm like, I can't do this. It's not fun.
Yeah, you're just like at work and you're tapping the gasm button.
Dude, imagine I'm just fucking like jackhammering away or doing whatever. Or not even that, like on the way to a job.
You're jackhammering your phone that has the gasm button.
No, but you don't even have a phone, dude. It's in your mind. So you just look and you just see like, dude, okay. The only cool thing.
No, but it has to connect
like,
to the phone. That's where it's at right now. It's
like it's a fucking Apple Watch that goes inside your mind.
It's a fucking app. Yeah.
Apple Watches are already stupid. Do you have a fucking Android or Apple Watch?
No.
Dude, anyone that has an Apple Watch is cosplaying them at 7 years old. That's what they're doing. Fuck that person. You wanted a Pokedex on your wrist when you were 7. Now you can have it. Fuck you.
Cosplaying 7.
Dude, I know several people.
Dude, those Pokedexes.
Dude. Oh, yeah. One time, one of my Pokemon, it evolved when I had a Pokedex, and I got freaked out, and I thought my mom was fucking with my Pokedex, and we got into a big fight about it. So that's a real story.
Good story.
Bulbasaur. It turned into fucking Megasaur or whatever the fuck it turns into.
Yeah, Megasaur.
I freaked the fuck out. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't understand, I guess, early computer learning. But, dude, I know people that literally have I wear a watch every day. It's just a normal fucking solar. It's a nice one.
Same with me.
Yeah, I have what do you have?
It's a Liege.
Okay, I have
something. It's a quartz watch.
Okay, so I have a Citizen fucking Eco Drive. Someone really cool.
Ooh, sounds fancy.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. I've had it for years. I've replaced the band a bunch, but the face of it's been through hell. It looks like shit. But anyway, it's a solar watch. It doesn't know what the fuck's going on. It only knows the time, and I love that. That's all it does. It literally, I look at it, and it just looks at me and goes, I only know time. And I'm like, perfect. Do you know the date? Barely. It barely knows the date. If anything's after dude, it
just screams the time at you.
It can't handle the 31st. It can't handle it. It just fucks up. And then I have to reset it. That's fine. Yeah. It works. It never dies. It's solar. Awesome. I don't need to have my phone in my back pocket while I'm working and have something that has all the shit come up on my wrist.
Yeah.
So I don't have to pull my phone out. Fuck you. Fuck you. Why do you need that? You don't need it. You don't need to know your fucking heart rate. You don't need to know it. You just don't. If you don't feel good, then go to the fucking doctor.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe the heart rate thing's different, but like I don't need to know what is happening on Twitter every second. I don't even fucking have Twitter.
That would give me so much anxiety. Like,
dude, I work with people that have Apple Watches, and I'm like, what do you like? It's just constantly going off.
My watch is just vibrating slightly to tell me that people are fucking.
Yeah, or like, oh, you're a little bit stressed out right now. You're a little bit. Oh, more steps. Gotta do more steps. You gotta do more steps. Oh, you didn't reach 5,000 steps. Why do you need that? We've gone
Buy shit
through
on Amazon.
so many. Yeah. Like how
Your
soon?
watch is just telling
dude,
you to buy shit.
Neuralink comes in. You're gonna have to fucking. You're gonna like, dude. This is what's gonna happen in 15 years. You're gonna get fucking forcibly circumcised, and then Neuralink's gonna be just like in your dick, and then you're just gonna be like in your mind dick though. So you're gonna get fucking your dick skin cut off, and then you're gonna get fucking Neuralink, and then you're gonna be like fuck. And then when you turn 18, they're gonna be like, "Well, yo, you don't want ads? You don't want to be driving? An ad pops up in your brain. You don't want to see the ad? $2,500 a month. We'll get rid of the ads. That's it. That's what's gonna happen.
Of course, there will be ads.
Oh
And then-
no!
and then
If you go back in time though, and you look at YouTube when they started, there was no ads.
Then you gotta worry about hackers.
Yeah, and then you start to hack your brain, then you're fucked.
Yeah. Hack your brain.
We can't even figure out fucking self-driving cars yet.
Yeah.
And that's been a thing for like the last 15 years. They've been trying to figure out how to actually do that. I mean, probably even longer than that. Let's be honest here. You know, like everyone's like, oh yeah, Tesla's only been around for a few years. Okay, first off, you're a fucking moron. They've been around forever. Not Tesla, but the actual technology for self-driving, like
Not the company.
like GPS cars, not the company, but like the
Companies
idea
do,
of
but-
like GPS-based cars and point A to point B, self-driving. It's been around for fucking ever. It's been a thing. They've been trying to figure
electric
it out.
cars have been around since the 60s.
No. I mean like the self-driving shit. Like the military's been trying to work on this for fucking eons. It's a thing. It just makes more sense. Autonomous vehicles, like, dude, they have Predator drones that will fly across Afghanistan and bomb targets smaller than your fucking guitar head. They're fine. Like, we can figure it out.
Yeah.
We just can't figure it out to make it cheap enough for people to buy to make money off.
Yeah.
So as soon as you figure out how to do that with people's brains, I'm not, dude. I want to live in the bush at that point.
Have you seen the machine?
What the fuck? What do you mean?
You seen the fucking
you
machine?
You can't call shit the machine.
I'm trying to tell you
That's what
the machine
That's what they
is.
called the T1000 before it was called the T1000. They just called it the machine.
The device. No, the fucking machine that he took 2 years to develop, because you can't get an actual surgeon to implant these things.
Who the fuck is he? Oh, you're talking about Musk?
Musk.
The fucking straight up robot alien
Yeah.
that lives here?
Tony
That's
Stark?
his dude.
Yeah.
No, that's his ship. That's his car they found that they're like, yo, it's not from here. That's what Elon Musk came in on. And then he sent fucking David Bowie's fucking corpse back to his planet to be like, haha, fuck you, I'm never coming back. That's what happened. Anyway, go on with your machine.
That fucking machine, though, it's fucking terrifying looking.
Why do I have no caller ID calling me at 1 in the morning?
It's
a goddamn ghost.
It's definitely a ghost. It's the aliens you were talking about. It's Elon Musk.
Yes.
Yeah, but this fucking machine looks fucking terrifying. Like, you can't actually have a human being doing this surgery because they would just lobotomize you. Because, like, a human's hand isn't accurate enough to actually implant these things.
That's good.
So they spent
we
2
can't,
years.
We can't solve the pandemic, but we're gonna do this.
They spent 2
I'm okay
years
with
trying
that.
to figure out this machine that would actually automate the entire surgery. And it looks so terrifying.
How many monkeys?
How many monkeys? What?
How many monkeys died?
Probably all of them. Who knows?
Shit.
I don't know what Elon's doing.
I don't like monkeys, so they can do it. I
He's
don't
just
give a fuck.
fucking shoving chips into people's brains and shit.
I've seen
I don't know.
actually, yeah, no. It's like, yo, you ever played
Machine
Quake?
is terrifying
You ever
looking.
played Quake?
Oh yeah.
You know, like the machines in Quake.
Which one?
Like the machine, like there's a
Quake
scene
4?
in Quake 4.
Yeah,
where, like,
Quake 4. Oh,
so it's the same,
yeah, yeah.
same thing, like same sort of like thing.
That part.
Man, what a good game.
That-
Quake 4
that
is
part-
so fucking good.
That part in Quake 4 when you're captured.
Yeah.
By the Strogg.
Yeah.
And
you're
they
under the fucking
they
thing,
cho-
dude?
They chop your
Yes,
legs off and
dude.
shit. Yeah. Oh,
Same
dude.
so-
Yeah.
But like the same
That's
sort of
the
you're looking at.
machine.
Okay, that's the machine. Great. So
Yeah.
Elon Musk is just rewriting. Man, fuck that shit.
Elon Musk is the Strogg.
Oh.
From Quake.
I don't want that. Like, would you opt for that? So here's my legitimate question to you. What? Oh, I got some action here.
Oh my God.
I
It's
got a
Elon.
I got a
He knows.
voicemail from no caller ID.
Oh
That's
God,
terrifying.
it's Elon.
I'm not gonna play that one.
Holy
I don't even
fuck.
know I had room in my voicemail still. Do you think that so like say like in like 10 years, not even 10 years, 5 years, right? They're like, yo, we're gonna circumcise your baby, and we're gonna put this fucking thing in its brain so we can like immediately just start downloading iTunes. You know?
Where does the circumcision come into like brain stuff?
I just think it's funny how they like already circumcised babies, kind of just like on like just it's like protocol. sort of thing. And then like when that comes in, they're just like, oh, we're gonna put the brain chip in.
You can opt out of it, though.
I know, but the parents are gonna be like, oh, that's fine. That's what I'm
Yeah.
just.
Yeah, I guess like most. Yeah.
I have no problem. To be honest with you, I have no problem with circumcision. I really don't give a fuck what happens.
I got a problem with it.
Why? You got a problem with early
gross.
baptism too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well then.
Why?
we're on the same
Why
page.
the fuck would you do that?
I don't fucking know.
Baptize your kid for no goddamn reason.
Oh, I thought you meant cutting the dick skin off.
Yeah, that too.
I think there's like health reasons. There's like legitimate health reasons for that.
There's no reason.
Yeah, I know they argue that there is.
Yeah, but it's
Okay, so
fake.
fuck it. So they're gonna
unless you're Jewish, you don't have to do it.
You don't have to.
Yeah,
Did
if
you know
you're
that
Jewish.
You know that I knew some Nigerian dudes that I worked with, and they got circumcised in a pool at 14 by their dad
Oh my God,
with a knife.
that's dangerous. Actually,
That's like culture.
you can't like. It's actually like difficult to recover if like your
Yeah, you could bleed out.
your dick is like a normal size.
Yeah, it has to be hard to do it.
That's fucked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like that's where your blood goes. They could bleed out. That's
Yeah.
like a thing. It's like a rite of passage. I
Holy
knew some like
shit.
rough Nigerian, like not rough, but like they were. I don't want to say like outback Nigerian dudes because like that sounds bad, but like they were not from. Fuck, I forgot the capital of Nigeria. But they were like not from like they were like kind of like tribal guys, not tribal, but like out in the country dudes. And they were like, yeah, they were both like, yeah, it's like common practice. Like that's a thing. And they were like, I still talk to the one guy to this day. I was talking to him last night, and yeah, he told me that, and I was like, man, that's fucked up. Like you would go to jail for that here. Like that's called child mutilation. Not even that. It's actually just straight up torture at that point. It's like a fucking war crime.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. It's weird what people
Yeah.
do with different cultures. There's also other cultures that like do like the whole like female circumcision and like all sorts of weird shit.
Mm.
But that's more like for like the fucking God and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm just
How did
saying.
we start talking about dicks?
If Elon Musk fucking is just like, yeah, if you're gonna have a baby, like you have the opportunity to, like, maybe you don't want him circumcised, it doesn't matter, but you want the brain chip, and you're like, yeah, but you get a discount if that brain chip goes in. That's where it's gonna go.
yeah,
But then you
the
gotta
br-
pay
the brain chip,
premium.
yeah.
You gotta pay brain chip insurance, so your kid doesn't
I
get
would, yeah.
so your kid doesn't get ads. So your kid will be sitting in school. He's like 10.
And the updates too.
Oh shit! What happens with the updates? So you just like,
They I guess they would have to pull it out. Like it would be a
oh yeah,
physical update.
Oh,
Like,
that's fine.
it would be obsolete
Yeah, that's
in
gonna
like
work
5
great.
years, right?
That's gonna work great. So I just have to go to a clinic to see straight after my brain is fucking scrambled because
Gets
the update
fried.
didn't work. You know how many iPhones that I've had where the update fucks up my iPhone? Oh, that's gonna be good. How about the testing when it's in your fucking head and you have to drive? No, man, like that shit might be possible. I believe that for sure it is possible now. To start developing things like that and to start looking at it in the future as a feasible thing for consumers, for sure. But I don't think the technology's there for it to be seamless enough where you don't have issues like, hey man, I'm going to get a driver's license, but I also have this brain chip in my fucking head
Yeah.
where I see shit,
Yeah.
you know? And
Maybe, I
then
don't
it
know.
might update when I'm driving, or it might
Yeah.
fucking crash, and then all of a sudden I'm watching Apocalypse Now while I'm driving down the 406, and I'm fucking dead.
We're assuming that it's gonna operate like a phone. I don't even know how the fuck it actually works.
Dude, I don't even know how phones
Nobody
work.
knows how it works.
I don't know how phones work.
Yeah.
How the fuck do I get an update on my phone wirelessly? Do you fucking know how that works? I don't.
It's Steve Jobs' ghost.
Dude, then that means the Steve Jobs ghost has royally fucked me several times.
Yeah.
Fuck Steve Jobs ghost.
Me too, man. My MacBook like forced me to update, and it just fucked my entire life up.
Yeah, that's why you guys
It
have
just-
backup.
it just
How do you
starts-
back
starts
up your brain? So what do you do? I just
Yeah.
had to have like another guy?
You just have like hard drives with your brain on it.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I don't know if you know this, but Steven Tyler is actually a Chris Cornell clone that got microwaved for too long.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Did you see the picture?
The guy's fucked up.
Did you see the picture referencing this? Mike, the Cornell picture? Dude, he's a fucking hot dog, dude. Guy's a hot dog. Did you see
I
the
can't
picture?
believe he's still alive. That guy did a lot of heroin.
Yeah, so did all of the Rolling Stones, and they're mostly still kicking. Okay, I'm gonna show you a picture right now. We're gonna get back to Elon Musk's fucking goddamn bullshit.
Okay, find the picture. I gotta grab beer.
Okay.
Need a beer?
Yeah. Keith Richards or Steven Tyler?
Oh God.
Exactly.
I don't like that at all.
No, I don't either. No caller ID, 138. It's a little bit weird. It's a weird time for someone to no caller ID me and leave a voicemail, right? Dude, what if it's like a killer?
Yeah, it's like fucking 2 a.m. Fuck. Did you ever watch Altered Carbon?
No, have you ever watched the movie or TV show Dark?
No.
The German one?
No.
Fucking incredible.
But
Absolutely
I just bring
incredible.
up Altered Carbon because it's kind of like the same concept of this Neuralink thing. Like what you were bringing up, like everybody's just issued a Neuralink at birth.
Oh.
In Altered Carbon, they have these things in the base of your neck called stacks, and you're issued one when you're born. Like it's mandatory,
Oh.
and that stack has your entire consciousness on it, so that when your fucking meat body dies, they pull the stack and they put it into a new body. So you never die. You just keep fucking going. You're just in this little pod that goes into the base of your neck.
Yeah, there was a, I think there's a Black Mirror about that too.
Yeah, this like Altered Carbon is very Black Mirror-ish, and
Okay.
there's actually a couple of actors
Similar,
in that show that
yeah.
are also in Black Mirror. So it's in the same vein.
Yeah,
But
shit
it's
freaks me out,
fucking
man.
it's too freaky, man.
Yeah, it sure freaks me out.
I think
If
that's
you
why
had the
I think that's
chance-
why people are so nostalgic about things, and they love like Greta Van Fleet and shit.
Yeah,
because
don't
like
start with me with that, man.
because it's easier.
Fuck that
It's it's simpler times. It's simpler stuff.
I just
You
think
don't want to
everyone
think about
wants
the
to-
future because it's just so like what the fuck.
Yeah, and I think everything right now is like super like, it's becoming more and more a little bit like dystopian. And when you look back on like when we were growing up as kids,
Mhm.
you were like, oh, that's free. You know,
That was true. That was true freedom back in the late '90s, early 2000s. Like that was.
Well, I mean, we were kids, but if you were fucking no, that wasn't true freedom. If you were our age, in the 70s.
It was definitely a lot easier. Like you got home from school.
Oh,
you,
as
you
children.
you turn
you mean
on
as
TV.
children?
Yeah, it was just
Oh
like.
yeah, so that's any
things were,
any age.
Things were
Even at
like-
this age, even if we were children in 2020, you wouldn't know the fucking difference. You
yeah,
wouldn't know
maybe,
what fucking.
maybe.
You would be so stoked. And so, dude, if you were 7 right now, in 20 years, you would look back on COVID being like, yo, remember when we just like didn't have to go to school? And I was sick for like 2 years because everyone was dying and we would just play video games all the time.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You
That
look
would
at
be
it,
sick.
you look at it and be like, fuck yeah, dude, that was awesome. That's like our biggest dream.
Yeah.
It's just like see crazy shit on the news and
Yeah.
everything's bad, and then you just live in like this weird sheltered place, and you're just like, I'm gonna fire the PlayStation, and
Yeah.
maybe if I'm old enough, I'm gonna get high as fuck, and it's gonna be great.
There's definitely a lot of like adults that are doing that for sure.
I did it for a month. It got real boring real quick.
Yeah, definitely a lot of people firing up the PlayStation, ripping bongs.
Yeah, it's
But
just,
definitely for like kids, like if you're in like grade 6 or something right now, it's
Oh,
fucking
you'd be
great.
fucking stoked.
It's great.
And you're just waiting for this
Yeah.
week to be like, are we going back to school? Because they're
Yeah.
announcing it this week for Ontario, at least Ontario, but if not federally, they're also nationwide.
Even if they do go back to
So
school in,
stupid.
in September,
it's going to be
like,
very different.
It's like those kids have gotten so much time off.
Yeah.
It's
Well, it's gonna
like
be
that's a
different,
good
too.
that's
Yeah, I
a good
was
summer
talking to-
vacation, man. Like
fuck
from
yeah.
like March till
Well,
September. Like that's a good summer vacation.
The online portals didn't do shit. Like there's been small, very quick studies that have come back. If not studies, not even really that. Just like numbers crunched on based on like I heard on the radio a bunch, so I don't know if this is actually true, but apparently the percentage of shit that kids have learned through the online studies is like 0. They just didn't
Yeah.
have to do it. Like, and parents like couldn't. They either didn't have like the computer functionality. If you're low income, you're fucked.
Yeah.
If you don't have, I don't have a laptop. I can't afford a fucking brand new MacBook. I'm fucked.
What
I
parents
had
are
a
actually
kid-
going to like enforce that?
Fuck
too?
no. My parents didn't. My parents are fucking pretty well off, and they were like, there's two of them still in high school. My parents were like, fuck no. What are you gonna learn? Like sign in so you have to and so you get your grade, but they weren't like checking their homework. My mom
Yeah.
didn't give a fuck, and she's very computer savvy, and she was like, I don't give a shit.
Well, imagine.
What are you gonna learn on a
imagine
fucking
the
computer?
Imagine the situation right now if like it's a standard fucking household. There's 2 kids, 2 parents. Both parents are working from home.
That's
both
what people
ki-
are
both
complaining.
kid, both kids,
about,
both
man.
kids have to be in this fucking weird Zoom meeting school.
Yeah.
And like,
But they're
you
home.
think the parents actually give a fuck
No.
about what the kids are doing?
No.
not at
But
all.
here's the
they gotta
fucked up
actually
thing.
do. They
So
have
here-
to do work.
But here's the fucked up thing. When this started and school got canceled and people were sent home and they like for it was like a month where like shit was like a little bit like kind of confusing, right? No one really knew if they were gonna go back to school for the end of the year. And all that.
Don't
and all-
even touch the mic. Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck are you doing?
No, it's falling, and all that shit. They were like concerned if they were gonna go back to fuck you, dude. I'm back. What's up? They were like worried about like if kids are gonna go back to school. I remember my mom calling me about this. She was talking to me about it. She's like, I don't know if they're gonna go back to school. Like, luckily they're old enough. Like, my sister can like, be home when my parents are at work. My dad only works like 5 days a month now, just based on his job, because he does 24-hour shifts. But she was like, yeah, like we have the opportunity, and our kids are good enough to be at home, and they're old enough to like watch themselves. But imagine you have a fucking 6-year-old that like just started like kindergarten, like maybe, and then you got a fucking
What is
Around
6? Grade
that.
1 maybe?
yeah, maybe grade 1. So like that kid's not gonna fucking cook himself craft dinner. You're fucked, right? That's all you got. And then
Yeah.
maybe you got a 9-year-old, right? Pretty normal family, young family, right? Mom and dad are working. Dad's a fucking asshole banker. Mom's a fucking another asshole, and they're fucking working,
Yeah.
and they're doing their shit. And then all of a sudden, there's no school, but you're not on quarantine anymore, or not quarantine. I hate when people. I even catch myself using that word. As a nation, we were never actually on quarantine. We just like had non-essential workers that were laid off. So you get called back to work, right? Because you're considered that you're essential now, and you go back after whatever fucking bullshit phase they've made up.
Yep.
So you got to go back to work. Do you know how much daycare is? Dude at my work is paying like fucking $700 a month or something like that for daycare.
Holy shit.
That's another rent. That's one
Yeah.
other rent. Bro, that's more than what I pay for rent.
That's
That's more than what you would pay for rent if you were having a roommate at your place now, and I know that.
Yeah.
Imagine having a kid. So you gotta shell out $1,400. $700, but just say your rent's $700. It's just you working because you just got called back to work, or maybe you even worked the full time. It doesn't even matter because the other person would get in CRB. It doesn't even fucking matter.
Yeah.
But if school's not a thing, which is like pretty all much free in Canada to go to, which is pretty fucking sweet, you gotta pay for like some shit. If you go to Catholic school, you gotta pay for like pedophilia and uniforms, and you fucking
$50 worth.
Yeah, like it's not. I mean, and let's not get it wrong. There's a lot of like families and kids that we went to high school with where like their parents were poor, and like you could tell, and it sucked. And those kids were always like either shitheads or they were sweet,
Yeah.
and you could tell it was a struggle for them. But they still managed. But there's no school now.
Right.
And that kid that's in high school that has a younger brother, that kid can take care of himself. But that younger brother, maybe he's 6, he's got to be put into daycare. Both your parents are working the same jobs they had. They budgeted on the same lifestyle they've had for 15 years.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you have an 8-year-old that needs to go to fucking daycare now, basically. And it's $700 a month. They're talking about they're actually talking about hiring private teachers that don't have teaching degrees, that just qualify based on criteria to do pandemic pods, which is based on which would be essentially privatized schooling.
Damn.
with a small number of people, with people that aren't qualified to do it.
How much would that cost?
Oh, dude, you'd
$1
be
million
looking,
a class?
you'd be looking at the only affluent neighborhoods like Oakville, like high-end Toronto, high-end Hamilton, anywhere around like high-end Niagara region, and you'd be looking at like $1,400 a month. Easy, all day.
Fuck that.
All fucking day. But then what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when the second wave hits and no one's in school, but you still gotta fucking work? Or maybe there's no CERB anymore. Like there could come a point where second wave hits and the government's just like, we can't do CERB.
They just run out of money.
And then what? That's when shit starts to hit the fan. That's when when we had this entire conversation when COVID started, and I was like, man, shit's gonna hit the fan. And then they started CERB, and I was like, okay, maybe not. But as soon as you tell people they can't work, like that's what's happening in the States.
Yeah.
That's why they have all these fuck you, let us go back to work, because they're not getting money. There's no money there for them.
Yeah.
I would fucking I mean, wouldn't be dumb enough to protest it, but I would be angry about it. And it's like, dude,
sure.
you're gonna tell me you gotta pay rent and pay taxes and all this shit, but you're not gonna let me work because I'm not downplaying the shit, because I know all about the fucking COVID, specifically based on what my mom's told me, but I'm still skeptical about the entire thing in certain ways. I know it's a real thing. I'm not skeptical about that. But I would be up there. I wouldn't be protesting, but I'd be like, man, so I can't work now, but I still have to pay the exact same fucking amount for everything, and you're not going to give me shit?
Yeah.
In some states, they're giving out $600 a month. That's fucked. That's
God
nothing.
damn.
That is nothing.
That is nothing.
Even if you were a fucking single douchebag like me or you, and you fucking you had to pay rent, and even if we were living upstairs at East Avenue, where rent was $200 a month on a good day, on a good year, I guess, depending on if John was home or not.
Yeah.
You
I think
fucking
I was paying
you'd be like
300.
Yeah, you'd be like $600. I'm poor. That's nothing.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm poor now, and I'm making decent money. You and I make okay money for what we do.
Yeah.
We get by, but we're not fucking affluent. If we had a kid, we'd be fucked. I would be so stressed out, dude. I know dudes with kids, and they're just like, I don't know what to do. There's a guy that I'm buddies with at work. He's just turned 30. Not Scott, another guy.
Yeah.
Just turned 30. He's got 2 kids. One of them's 12. He doesn't know if they're gonna go to school in September. He's fucking freaked out. What are you gonna do? Luckily, he lives with his he moved in with his mom to kind of take care of her and vice versa.
Right.
Take care of the kids, right? While he's at work, cause
Yeah.
him and his
Some kind of support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's like, man, if I didn't have my mom, I'd be fucked. I can't afford daycare. I had no idea how much daycare was. Of course I wouldn't, because I've never been in that situation before. Obviously, I don't have any kids. I mean, there might be a couple out there that are running around. But that's fucked up. That's a fucked up thing. But you need that. But legally, you can charge as much as you fucking want for daycare. I mean, I'm not saying legally, but is there a cap on that? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's
and what are you teaching them? You're not doing it. You're just fucking babysitting.
I don't think
you
there's
put him in a fucking pig pen.
Daycare.
Sorry?
I don't think there's a public daycare.
No.
Yeah, I don't think that
No,
even
but there's
exists.
public nursing homes where they just go and die and get beaten and fucking, assaulted and sexually assaulted and fucking, it makes me sick, man. We take care of the sick and dying, but we're not going to take care of our fucking kids. The ones that maybe have our future. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, we treat kids like
I got another fucking banana
other
beer,
things.
dude. I got another banana beer.
Good. They're good.
No, they're not.
They're great.
I gotta finish the first fucking banana beer.
They're the best.
Yo, if
Yeah,
anyone works at
treat
Collective
kids
Arts
like
is listening right
fucking-
now, fuck this banana beer shit.
We treat kids like fucking nothing. Like they're some other species.
It's so important. Kids are
Yeah.
so important.
It's
the most important thing.
You ever think about that? People when at any time on the news or something like that, someone will be like, the kids, these kids, all these kids. It's like they're people. They grow up and then they're
it's the
just
same
adults.
thing as the elderly.
Everybody is the fucking
It's the same thing as the elderly, though.
Nobody is
the
just
elderly.
nobody's
the
just like
elderly
a
are
baby.
dying.
Like a baby isn't a different
Yeah, no one's.
subspecies.
Yeah. I know, but it's
they're
the
all
same
just
thing
people.
as there's a middle age. I think there's a media gap between the ages of 0 to fucking 25 is when you start fucking realizing what the media is. The media kicks in around 18, but from 80 and up, you're just the elderly. You don't fucking know. You don't give a shit. and they'll refer to old age homes,
Yeah.
the elderly. Oh, the elderly, or senior citizens are getting affected.
Mm-hmm.
You mean the people that made differences and that we live, that the reason
Yeah.
that we're here now, that they did that?
Exactly.
And
We
then
we,
you
we
mean
have like
when you talk about-
subcategories for people.
Yeah, and then you talk about kids, and those are the ones that have to follow in our footsteps.
Mhm.
Like, fuck
Yeah.
you, man.
It's like anybody
Fuck you.
under the age of
People.
18 is
People.
just like some other fucking thing, and
Yeah.
everybody above 65 is just this other fucking subclass
Hey,
of people.
man, I'm just
And
gonna say,
everybody
like, if you're-
everybody in between is like running the show and not giving a fuck about the fringes.
But the funny
basically.
thing is that all the guys that
It's like,
are,
but they're
but-
all
but
people.
the
They all
funniest-
grow up and they all
Yeah, but
fucking
the-
live
but
a
the-
life, a
yeah.
very productive life of doing shit, and we just talk about it like that's just shit over there.
Yeah, but
It's
collectively,
weird, right?
It is weird, but collectively, that's a number, and those two groups are numbers, and then those numbers dwindle when people die, and you don't give a fuck about those numbers until someone important within those numbers dies, albeit some small child that dies of COVID that's fucking Royal Mary's fucking husband-in-law's nephew. Oh my God, he died of COVID. Or fucking
Yeah.
some ancient fucking actor that you've never heard of that fucking played Shakespeare back in 1930 just died. Obviously not that late, but who fucking cares? Dude lived a good life. I don't give a fuck. Dude, if you're 80 and up and you're dying from COVID, that sucks. That's shitty. But something's going to take you out, bro. Something's going to happen. Sucks to suck. Like, that's just the way it goes. You're going to get taken out from fucking polio or fucking... you know what I mean. Like, I'm being dramatic, but, like, fuck that
There's
shit.
no more polio. But
I'm being dramatic. I'm trying to be funny, but fuck that shit. It doesn't matter. Let's just focus on, like, the prime. Let's focus on, like, advancing people. You know? Save what we can. That's fine. But maybe just, like, you know... When you're in, like, if you're drowning and there's too much weight onto you, you kind of cut the cords. Focus on shit that matters, man. I know it's a hard, like, a cold look at it, but, like, you have to. You can't save everybody. Just like you said fucking 20 minutes ago. You were like, you know, can't save everybody. You said that.
you can't. Yeah,
Well, then-
exactly.
Then stop. Stop fucking putting 75-year-olds on ventilators. What are you doing? Those people can't even fucking breathe. You're killing them. Have you listened to what the nurse has
No,
that
I
one
haven't seen that.
I sent it to you. It's not a conspiracy. It's legitimate, like, hidden camera shit from the New York hospital that fucking was the epicenter, and it is insane, dude. It will explode your brain. It like, I showed Scott, and Scott's not a conspiracy guy. I'm not really a conspiracy guy. I like reading bullshit. I'll talk about bullshit. I only believe certain bullshit. Only that has to do with the aliens. When it comes to, like, the Illuminati and especially, like, this new, like, weird thing that's happening. This is another thing that's going on. This child pedophilia ring
Yeah.
that just started to come up, like, in the last month.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, like, all of a sudden present.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay. Well, a lot of shit's going on right now. So we're gonna look this way, but, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, but I'm just, this is exactly what's happening. Pedophilia, BLM, COVID, all this shit. COVID and BLM are happening. Fully support the
The pedos.
No, I fully support racial minorities not being
Choose your words wisely.
yeah, no, because there's certain things that there's certain shit that's come out about some charities and stuff that have gotten pretty sketchy, that have been glazed over recently.
I'm
in
not
the
big
media,
into any
but
charity.
I'm not talking about, like, charities. I'm more so talking about, like, some of the stuff that BLM's done.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the entire movement of anyone that is racialized negatively, I am on your, like, on that side 100%. You're not going to see me at a protest.
I'll say protest, fine. Riot, not good.
Yeah. So what I've learned from delving into a lot of the shit through the fucking straight up bowels of the internet is a lot of the riot stuff has been incited. A lot of it's been bullshit. A lot of it's happened, but they're sensationalizing it. A lot of the media is sensationalizing riots based on what media type you read. If you read certain media's
Not big media.
news outlet. What? Oh, fuck yeah.
Not big media.
Oh, fuck yeah.
They're not talking about riots.
Okay, so what's happening in Portland? Give me your take on Portland. Do you think there's really, do you really think there's unarmed, or sorry, do you think there's no badge government agents abducting people in Portland? Because I can tell you fucking right now, I've seen all of, okay, so you're not an idiot, which I
definitely
didn't
not
assume you were.
happening.
Dude, I was talking about this with Scott. This isn't from anyone else's, like, literally, like, Scott was like, oh, like, dude, there's, like, fucking, there's undercover, like, federal agents in Portland abducting people and shit. So I follow one guy on YouTube that has actually broken down some really interesting shit going on with, and again, I know that we both back any racial minority that's getting ostracized or has been ostracized in the past or presently. I understand that we're both on the same page with that. Not cool. Sucks. But a lot of the time, recently, you'll see, like, names pop up in social media posts that'll be like, oh, this person was murdered by the police or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this dude on YouTube. I'll tell you his name after. Just bring it up if you're interested. I'm not going to mention it now. But he breaks down specifically police shootings that have to do with minorities.
Right.
But not the whole time. Like, not his entire channel. Just, like, based on the last few months and where everything's going.
Right.
And he'll present the facts from a non-biased point of view,
mm-hmm.
but he's also an ex-cop.
Okay.
But he has a really cool point of view on it because he'll actually dive into all of the facts, not just what some asshole will be like. Oh, they shot. Doesn't even have to be black. Doesn't have to be fucking Mexican. Doesn't have to be anything. They shot like so and so human being yesterday. Fuck the police. And then this guy would be like, oh, well, that guy actually just pointed a gun at that dude's face. Mm. So what do you think's going to happen?
So he's getting into the actual case.
He's actually getting into the legitimate cases, and you would
instead of treating people as a statistic, he's actually
which
talking about the case.
Yeah. Which actually does a disservice.
Which is good. You should be doing that instead of just saying like, look at all these people who are dying. They did nothing wrong. It's like, maybe you just fucking look into it first.
But what he also does is he'll talk about the areas they live in, the poverty that they live in, the desperation that happens, and a lot of the time doesn't fucking count because a lot of the time these dudes are just like, and they're not just black dudes. They could be whatever. I'm not saying that this is a BLM thing. He'll break down a lot of things. I'm not trying to get into any sort of racial shit right now. But it's very interesting that a lot of people will post like, oh, like so-and-so got like shot by the cops. Like, all cops are bastards. Like, blah, blah, blah. Not just talking about BLM. And this dude will be like, oh, yeah, but also like, here's the actual body cam footage of the shooting. This is what happened. And you'll see a dude like literally do this. Like out of a car window and the cop will light him up. Well, fuck yeah. You just pointed a gun at a cop.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter if you pointed a gun at a cop. You pointed a gun at someone else that has a gun. It's win or lose, or it's lose-lose. No one walks away. I mean, it essentially is lose-lose at any point in time. You're going to get shot at and you're going to have to live with shooting someone to death and they're going to die, or you're going to get shot and die. It's lose-lose. So, like, it's interesting that only some of those people, or some people are actually diving into these things. But a lot of them, like, actually, no, fuck that. Not even a lot. The entire majority of people are just like, oh, that was a person of color. A cop killed him. They're innocent. Well, fuck no. Fuck no, dude. Sometimes shit happens. Yeah. Sometimes there are bad fucking people. And if I'm not sticking up for bad cops. It's not what I'm saying. It's just getting really frustrating, especially with the Portland shit going on. When everyone's like, oh, there's fucking... there's federal agents there and they don't have badges and all this shit. Like, I've seen the videos. Yeah. He actually broke down one of the videos, and you can clearly tell it's an informant. The dude literally puts his hand behind his back, before the cops even get to him. And if you freeze frame the image, even if you press pause on the YouTube video, you can see on there, like... No, man, it just pisses me off that people, like...
The Portland thing is really
fucking,
fucked up.
It's not. It's actually not fucked up at all. Because you have border police, you have FBI police, you have Coast Guard police. Any federal agent is there. They don't wear police on their badge or on their chest. They're military police. That's what they are. They can operate on federal or on American soil. So Coast Guard is special forces. They have special forces. They can operate on American soil. They still wear patches. They still wear badge numbers. They're just camouflaged. But you can still see them very clearly, dude. If you actually watch the videos, just because you don't see police in a black vest, they're still cops. They still have the same jurisdiction. They still can't fucking shoot you for no reason. It's the same shit. It's the same fucking thing. And this dude and a lot of other people have actually fucking analyzed these videos and analyzed other videos of informants getting arrested. And I'm not saying this is 100% what it is, but if you actually, I'll send you the links. If you actually listen to what they're saying, and I'm not saying that everything that's happening in the States is cut and dry and it's fucking, that's it. Like, obviously, there's some shadowy shit going on. But a lot of the time, you'll have dudes getting extracted that are trying to figure out where these not protests, riots are going to happen. That are informants, that are dressed as civilians that will get arrested.
Okay.
But these are the same videos where, like, you'll have a bystander be like, oh, fuck, like, he's part of Antifa. And you'll have these dudes roll up, like fucking, squad deep, and they'll roll up on this guy, like, fucking pointed at him. And he'll, like, cross his arms before they even get there. He's not fucking Antifa. There's no fucking way. This dude's not trying to fight the cops. Like, there's like, dude, I can probably send you at least 5 or 6 links. Not even joking, man.
So what? You think it's some kind of fucking huge conspiracy to?
No, I don't think it's a conspiracy.
Bump up the numbers or something?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, I'm not saying it's a conspiracy theory at all. I think that there are undercover police officers that work for federal agencies that are trying to be within these protests to figure out who's gonna fucking riot and who Antifa is to stop it. Because do you know what they're doing in Portland? Did you know that they actually barricaded one of the embassies in Portland and threw Molotov cocktails inside on the workers inside that were just office people?
It's a federal court.
A federal court, sorry, not the embassy, obviously. My bad. Yeah, they Molotov them.
Yeah.
Inside.
Yeah.
Inside a federal building.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, that's actually an act of, like, domestic terrorism.
Yeah.
They could have walked out shooting and it would have been totally fucking legal. They didn't. So everyone that's like, oh, they're fucking bad guys. No, man. No.
Yeah.
They're
calling the feds fascists.
No, that's not, dude. That is
because they're arresting people who are throwing Molotov cocktails at a federal court, and it's like, what did you think was gonna fucking happen?
Yeah.
You're taking on the feds.
Yeah,
the
you can't do
feds
that.
always win.
Yeah, always. And you know what? Sometimes they should. For that kind of shit, when there's just innocent dudes,
people just going to work.
Yeah. And
it's a courthouse.
And you're going to try and burn it down. And not even burn it down. Barricade them inside.
Yeah.
These are, and a lot of, have you seen the videos of the Coast Guard? So I don't know if you know what, I said before.
I haven't seen the video of the Coast Guard.
Okay, so the Coast Guard has been deployed through they're one of the only, as far as I know, I'm no fucking expert by any means. Obviously, I've never served or anything like that. I like this kind of shit. I follow up on it. I think it's fascinating. I do know that the Coast Guard is one of the only outfits in the United States that can be deployed on American soil for potentially a combat role. You can only deploy the American military on American soil if there's an invasion kind of shit. The Coast Guard they're the Coast Guard. You can deploy them on American soil. They actually conduct special operations on a daily basis for the drug cartels. They do sting and burn or fucking sting operations all the time. They just look like cops. It's the fucking Coast Guard. They're fucking terrifying. The Coast Guard is a fucking force. Just like the SEALs are, just like the Army Rangers are, just like the Green Berets. It's the same fucking shit. They're terrifying. But what people don't understand is these dudes will fucking kill you. But they don't want to because they're your buddies. They're just in the same city that you're in. They're probably from there, some of them. There's videos of people protesting down the street and the Coast Guard being like, yo, fuck the police. Like, literally. Like dudes in the Coast Guard lining the streets with, like, M4s and shit. Like, suited up. And protesters, like, I'll send you these videos, man. I'm not making this up. And protesters would be like, yo, like, fuck the Jake. And they'll be like, yeah, we don't like him either. And the protesters are like, what the fuck? What? Like, they're all fucked up over it because they think that you see an armed guard, because that's all you see. You see a uniform. You don't see the person behind it.
Yeah.
And that's what bugs me about all these people saying, like, yo, fuck the cops, ACAB, all that shit. Man, fuck you. Fuck you. If anyone that I know ever said ACAB, I'd be like, no, man, like, you're an idiot. Like, I'll talk to you about that.
Wrong.
You're a fucking moron. Like, you're a fucking idiot.
You're not thinking like an individual.
No, you're thinking like a mob, and then you are in turn thinking that they are a mob.
Yeah.
And you're in turn thinking that they are all one autonomous unit. No.
Like all cops are just trained to do the exact same
Some
thing
cops
and think
suck.
the exact same
Some
way.
cops suck. Just like when you call Bell, some of the customer service
Yeah.
representatives suck ass.
Some
Well,
of them suck.
unfortunately, it's on a different scale. And cops have guns.
Yeah.
Cops make shitty moves, man. Cops make fucking shitty moves. Did you know that they spray painted on Main Street, defund the police? Did you see that?
I saw that, yeah.
I think that's fucking awesome.
They took it down.
You know the funniest part of that? The funniest part of that is they launched an investigation to try and find the people that did it.
Oh, really?
You know what? You know when that happened? That happened when they shut down Main Street for protesters and literally watched them spray paint it.
Yeah.
Because it was a fucking defund the police protest, and the police were there to protect the protesters.
Mm-hmm.
And they fucking spray painted that on the thing. The police were there to protect the
I remember
protesters.
when that was happening.
The police were there to protect the protesters to do the defund the police protest. The police were there while the defund the police protest was happening. Again, the police were there by request, more than likely,
they deploy
to
cops.
block it off.
Yeah, they deploy cops every time there's a protest because they have to protect the protesters.
Fuck them.
Otherwise, you have some crazy fucking radical
did you
group
see
coming in. These fucking things happen. That's why you need the cops there.
Did you see the case in the States where the and again, I'm not talking shit on BLM. I'm for it to an extent of unjustifiable violence. I think if you're going to cause violence, then do it to the right people. And you know that I support that. But don't start doing stupid shit like blocking off the freeway.
Yeah.
Did you see the video?
Yeah.
Where the 2 or 3 people got like smacked by a car because they fucking walked in front of basically what is the QEW.
Yeah. And
there's a car going down and he rounds a corner and fucking probably kills 3 people.
Yeah.
And everyone thought it was a terrorist attack.
Yeah.
Hey man, have you ever driven down the highway at 12 o'clock at night? Can't see a lot in front of you.
Yeah.
Can't see dark figures because there's no lights. And then, oh fuck!
When
all
you're
of a
getting
sudden
on the
there's a
highway,
fucking
you're
an idiot. You're a fucking
you're accelerating to like 100 fucking kilometers an hour. Like, you think you're gonna be able to brake?
But
once you're merging onto the fucking freeway.
But what's happening with a lot of that? Although there was one that was fucked up last week, in one of the open carry states. Obviously in the United States, an open carry state, there was a dude that, which is, I thought it was kind of interesting that he was in the media. He was a white dude that was dating a quadriplegic black woman, and he was pushing her through the protest, but he was also open carrying an AK-47, which is fine. And a car plowed into the crowd, and Buddy went at the car. Hey man, if you're going to wear a fucking gun in public and you're going to tote your Second Amendment, well, I hope you know how to flick it off safe and use it. Because, the dude got shot. The guy let the guy get out of the car with a gun. Come on. And then everyone's like, oh, it was a terrorist attack, blah, blah, blah. Okay, first off, no, it's not a terrorist attack because he's not involved with any fucking terrorist group. It's just some asshole.
Well, he probably just didn't want to use it. He probably wanted to go through any possible route not to shoot somebody. That's probably
He had mowed down a crowd of people and was pointing a weapon at him. And he had a rifle chambered in 7.62, which would fucking rip you in half. And he was just like, I'm not talking about that dude. It's not even that. It's just the fact that everyone was like, oh, like, he was dating a black girl and he was there and he's a good guy. Didn't talk about her. Didn't talk about the protest. That was all it was centered on, was that guy. That's what I'm talking about. That's what pissed me off about that whole story. It was about that dude. It wasn't about her. It wasn't about the protest. It was about that kid. He was a kid. He was like our age. We're kids. I mean, we're almost 30, but we're fucking kids.
No.
We're fucking kids, man.
Not
We have no
kids.
life experience. We're fucking children.
Says you, man.
It just sucks. Like that's what they focused on. Was a white guy that got fucking shot up. Really? Really? You could have like just the whole fucking thing is so it's so stupid.
It is stupid.
It's so fucking dumb.
And it's ongoing, and there's seemingly no end until, I guess, COVID ends, and then everybody can just be forced back into work and
No, this
forget.
won't end. This won't end. This is going to be a race war. I think there might be a race war, man.
Fucking helter skelter.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know the.
Yeah. Charles Manson was right.
No, not.
Yeah.
No. But I think. Did you see the not fucking around coalition or not fucking around crew, or whatever?
No.
The I showed you the video. It looked like
maybe. I
the
don't
new
know.
Black Panthers. They're not BPs, but it looked like them. I thought it was Black Panthers when I first saw the video. They're not fucking around militia or something. I'm misquoting it. I know they're not fucking around. It's NFAC. Yeah, not fucking around crew, I think. NFAC. He says NFAC motherfucker at the end. It's a black dude with like hundreds of black dudes and black men and women behind him, like armed to the teeth. And they actually marched on the KKK headquarters in Washington, I believe. It's a really cool video. But he was just basically like, it was very empowering. Obviously, I'm a white dude, but even I watched it, the whole thing, and he's speaking through a megaphone, and he's like, yeah, like, cause I guess the KKK was like, we're gonna start shooting black people. Like someone, I guess, had said that.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they said they were gonna start shooting black people at a certain date at a certain time, and he was like, you know what, fuck you, we're gonna start shooting white people at a certain at that time, or no, he said that they said that they'll start shooting black people at 8:05, and I believe his quote was their quote was, we'll start shooting black people at 8 o'clock, and he was like, all right, fuck it, we'll start shooting white people at like 7:55, like we'll beat you to it, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, and then he goes on to say like threat, counter threat, and he also says motherfucker like so many times. It's very sick. But he's sitting there with a fucking assault rifle on his hip, or not even on his hip, like squared up, like in a single point sling, and he's got it, and he's ready to go, and there is just hundreds of dudes clad in black, assault rifles, body armor, like as far as you can see in the video, like in the street, like it goes probably for a kilometer, and it bends, and it's just a trail of like men and women, like black men and women, like armed to the teeth, but they're right in front of the KKK headquarters, and he's standing at the front of this entire basically fucking army, and he's got a megaphone, and he's speaking at the headquarters, and he's basically like, where are you, motherfucker? And then at the end he says like NFAC, which I it's not fucking around something. I don't think it's crew, something different. But it was very powerful, because I was like, yeah, fuck those guys. Fuck the KKK. Fuck that shit. Fuck
It's
fuck
crazy
like
they're
white.
still around. Like, what the fuck is that all about?
Apparently, actually, Scott and I just learned from it wasn't really a podcast. It was more so an interview that Scott was showing me that was talking about the origins of it. And I guess like the original KKK guy, like didn't want it to be violent. Like he didn't want it to be like a lynch mob sort of thing. It was really,
Really?
I'm not sympathizing at all. It was just like we were just like talking about it, and he's like, oh, like I heard this really interesting thing. Like we should just for argument's sake. I'm not supporting
Like
the
it was
KKK
supposed
at
to be
all.
some kind of
It was-
fucking
it wa-
white dude club.
No,
that
it was
just
supposed to
hang
be what the guy that it had, apparently originally started as, and it's still not good. He was against the abolishment of slavery, but not down with like black genocide. Basically, he wasn't cool with that. He just wanted still wanted to have slavery.
out. Okay.
It's really weird, like the way he wanted it, but that's why he started the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan.
Mm-hmm.
And then he like ended up resigning after it like got like violent, like
Right.
pretty like far after, because the KKK has been around for fucking a long time. But yeah, I guess he resigned and all this shit. There's like a whole history behind like that dude and stuff like that. And he was like, no, man, I never wanted this to be a violent thing. It was actually more so like a political movement is what it was, to try and not have the abolishment of slavery, which is still fucked up, 100%. It's also fucked up that we had slaves.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. It's insane that, like...
The fact that slavery
It's insane that...
slavery was a mainstream idea, and I mean slavery still exists around the world, but it's not.
You wearing
it's,
Vans?
Yeah,
Bummer, dude.
exactly. You're wearing clothes? Bummer.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm wearing Levi's, man.
Yeah.
I'm wearing Levi's and Fruit of the Looms. I mean,
Yeah.
I got my boots on that were made probably by like some white douchebag in Alberta, but that's my only like fair trade clothing I have.
But that's like
I'm aware.
that's like,
Anyone that's like, oh, I don't like
that's like
slavery,
mock
it's like, dude,
that's like
fucking
mock
fuck up.
slavery, but there is still like legitimate
That's-
slavery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I know, but
Like in
It's
the,
not
in
mock.
the actual like term of like you're not getting paid for this labor kind of slavery.
you just
You
like
know,
that, or
people that work at like Foxconn, like they get paid, they don't get paid good.
fuck
and they
is
fucking
Foxconn?
hate. Foxconn is a infamous factory in China.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one with the fucking suicide
Nest,
nets.
the Apple
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, yeah, you could argue that that's slavery, but they're getting paid something. But there is actual slavery. I mean, Libya is a failed state, and they're actually having open air auctions for human beings. You can buy people in Libya.
Wow.
Like, it still goes on. It's just not a thing in the West.
Yeah, but we pretend like it's fine. We pretend like it's gone. But hey, you put up enough media. You put it. You put
some
up.
people pretend it's gone. Other people who know what's up know that
If you
it's fucking happening.
if you told your parents right now that there's real slavery in the world, do you think they believe you? Probably not.
No, they'd say I was fucking crazy or
Yeah.
something. And then I'll just show them the video of people getting sold. Because it was from a year ago.
Yeah. Obviously,
You
it
know,
still
like,
happens, man. Yeah.
It's still fucking happening.
So what do you? Also, just to like, I'm not trying to like close off the racial topic at all, because I feel like we're having a great conversation right now. But I just want to backtrack. I don't. I know I've said some things that could be taken out of context. I fully support everything that's happening right now. I really do. But I think there's better ways of going about it, and it's an extremely complex and fucked up situation, and I feel like everyone that is posting about it on the internet, especially people we know, and including you and I mean, we don't post about it, but we're obviously talking about it. We don't know everything that's happening. Mm-hmm. We can't put ourselves in I mean, quite frankly, colored shoes. We can't. I've never experienced racism. I've seen it happen, and it sucks. But I've never experienced it firsthand, obviously. You've never experienced it firsthand, obviously. You're not a minority. I'm not a minority. It sucks. It's a real fucking thing, for sure. And I wasn't trying to say that guy on YouTube was discounting what is happening to black youth or to colored people through police shootings.
No.
But I am saying that there
just
are...
trying to get like legitimate answers.
Yeah, and this is
'Cause
also...
there's so much propaganda that
That's the
it's
issue.
it's hard
And
it's hard
this
to get
is-
real answers, you know.
Again, I'll share the channel with you after we're done. But he also breaks down... Fuck, man. Most of his channels just raising awareness on police shootings. It's kind of a fucked up, weird channel.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very interesting to watch his views on it because he was a police officer. But he'll also, 9 times out of 10, be like, that's a shitty cop. Like, that guy's a fucking idiot. Like, why would you do that? He was also like a military guy. He has military guys on his shows that are like, that don't have the ROEs that cops have, that can just, it's target rich. Nothing matters. There's no consequence sort of thing. And even those guys are like, no, why would you do that? Like, you're a racist. Like, you're an asshole. Like, he's not just like, that guy deserved it. He had a gun. Like, it's not about that.
Yeah.
It's very interesting when you start actually breaking down a lot of the body cam footage of a lot of the shit that's going on. But I will say that the George Floyd one was fucked. And the background to that kicked it off is even more fucked that came out of it. Did you know that they were friends? Not friends. Did you know they worked together?
Yeah, yeah.
And that, like, that fucking Derek dude, like, fucking
They
hated
knew
him.
each other and they had fucking rivalry or something.
Yeah, they
right?
actually, like, almost fist fought, like, several times before that night or that day. Like, that's an assassination. That's not assassination, but that's first degree murder, in my opinion.
He wanted out.
Yeah, that's like if I had a beef with you and then I found you at a fucking bar or a show and
And he said, like, this is the perfect time to just fucking kneel on his neck for 8 fucking minutes. It's a brutal video, man. It's hard to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. Yeah.
It's weird that they even show that, like, on the news, you know?
It's sensationalism, man.
It used to be, like, you couldn't do that kind of stuff.
Oh, really? Because when Sandy Hook happened, they fucking showed all the police footage. They didn't show the inside, but they showed the fucking... the shooter.
That wasn't a long time ago, though. Like, it used to be a thing where, like, you couldn't actually show that shit.
Dude, Sandy Hook...
In the greater scheme of things, that was not a long time ago.
They showed the Rodney King riots on live TV. They showed him getting beaten on live TV.
But not someone dying. George Floyd died, and we all
dying.
watched him die.
They didn't show him dying.
Dude, he dies on that fucking video.
They didn't show it on live TV. They didn't show him dying. Man,
they're saying that he's not dead. That guy fucking died.
Yep.
In that video, for sure.
Eric Garner died on live TV too. Well, not on live TV, but same thing.
You know, it used to be you had to go to, like, Faces of Death to see that kind of shit. Now it's just, let's just show it to
but you
everybody.
weren't going to Faces of Death to see white cops kill black people. That's not what you were.
No, but like, the thing is, like, you couldn't just show somebody dying on the news.
No, but you also didn't sensationalize school shooters and say their names.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
times have changed.
Violence,
yeah,
man.
Times have changed into a weird way where everybody needs to know, like, violence exists, I guess. Sensationalizing violence, yeah.
They're actually talking about trying to get rid of military shooters in video games right now.
Really?
Yeah, through because apparently it's a law enforcement and it's a military and potential law enforcement recruitment tool, which I think is fucking bullshit.
Well, obviously, like, anybody who plays Call of Duty is probably like, man, fucking military's great, bro.
So the US,
I knew, like, 8 fucking dudes who played COD 4 back in the day and just signed up for the military.
Yeah, but you can also just watch
cool.
You can also just watch Black Hawk Down 1,000 times, right? I've actually
American Sniper, an actual propaganda film for the American military.
So you obviously know about his book. I don't like that guy, Chris Kyle. He's a fucking
he's
dead.
Fake book. Yeah,
he's dead now, and he was I don't know the guy, and
talking
I don't
a
know
big
much
game
about
killing pedestrians and shit.
Yeah, no, he's a piece of shit.
Shitty person.
Dude, he had like 200 or 300 or 100. I think it was 160 confirmed kills in Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
I watch a lot of, like, weird shit on, like, with military guys and stuff because I find that world fascinating. And to get a confirmed kill as a sniper is almost unheard of. You don't know because you are reaching out and touching somebody. Like, 500 yards into a combat zone, you're not going to walk. Like, based on people that are in my family that were in combat, you're not walking there. I've never obviously been in combat, but I've shot 500 yards. That's far. You're not walking there to make sure the guy's dead. Fuck no. Like, that dude, like, fuck that dude. Mm. Not even fuck that dude. Fuck America for being like, this is a hero.
Yeah.
This is what we want. Like, fuck that. That's
Well,
insane, man.
to get that film made, they had to go through the U.S. military
So I played
to get the funding for it. That's how a lot of like
there is
American war movies are made. They have to the goes through
I know, yeah.
them.
There is a few video games that have come out since I was a kid that I've played. Actually, no, not a few. I've only played one that actually had the U.S. military thing in the opening credits. Like, legitimately had it. Actually, no, two. I think one of the SOCOM games had it, like SOCOM Navy SEALs, which is honestly one of the best, like military games I've ever played because it was super strategic. It was very hard. You play fucking video games to kill bad guys, man. It's hard. It's what you do. Either way, it doesn't fucking matter if you're killing dudes with a gun in a video game or you're Crash Bandicoot and you're jumping on their heads. It's the same fucking thing.
Did you ever? Do you remember the U.S. military video game?
That's what I'm talking about. Which one? Because there was a couple.
The one that was actually made by the U.S. military.
Yeah, it was called.
It kind of flopped because it wasn't that
loved
great.
It. No, it actually was really good. There was a lot of strategy involved in it. It was called First to Fight. It was a U.S. Marine. It was a U.S. Marine. The United States Marines. United States Marines sponsored. It was called First to Fight, and it was a good game. It was fun to play. It was hard. It was really hard. There was strategy involved. It was fucked. I played that. I played all the SOCOM games. SOCOM.
But it was specifically made to get people.
Yeah,
to
absolutely,
join the military,
absolutely. A couple of the SOCOM games. Actually, most of them. When you open the handbooks up, because I played all of those games. So my favorite franchise. They were so fucking good. They were so hard. Very like tactically strategic. You had to think about like different missions. It wasn't like Metal Gear Solid. There was like actual shit you had to think about, and you would fuck up really early. And missions would last you quote unquote, would last you like 3 hours if you actually took the time to do it. And I found that interesting as a kid. You're thinking about stuff, and it's like chess, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, in a video game, it's just as violent as chess is. You're still taking other players off the board or off the thing. Just might have simulated blood or whatever. You understand what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
But the SOCOM games, if you actually went into the manual back when games were tactile and they actually had like physical copies of shit, which they don't anymore, which sucks, you would actually flip through in the back. There was a recruitment ad. I have a copy of the original SOCOM game for one of the PlayStations at my house, and I'm pretty sure there's a U.S. Navy like thing in the background.
There's like a phone number.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No, not a phone number, like a straight up recruitment ad.
Holy shit.
You ever been to Times Square?
Yep.
Did you see it?
I don't remember it, no.
You never saw like the booth, like in the middle of Times Square, that's smaller than the space that you walk down into that used to be an old washroom, and it's a United States Marines, maybe not Marines, maybe Army, I don't know. It's a recruitment center. You know when you walk to Gore Park? You know when you walk to Gore Park?
Yeah.
And there's that little marble like encroachment that comes out of the ground that used to be the entrance to the public washroom.
Yeah.
I imagine that in Times Square, but 4 times the length, and it's got fucking like holographic like shit on the outside that changes to ads, and then just U.S. military. You can walk in the door and enlist.
Crazy.
Yeah, I went there right out of not obviously there, but I went there after high school to see a show and walked through Times Square, and I saw that, and I was like, that's just weird. Right, smack dab in the middle of Times Square. It's fucked. It's really weird. Like they don't recruit in Canada. It's not like that.
No, not like that.
I mean, they do. It is here. If you watch cable, it's here. When was the last time you watched cable?
A long, long time ago.
Or even satellite. If you watch like any Canadian shows, like you'll get ads for it.
I'm sure you'll get the ads on YouTube depending on what videos you're watching.
See, I watched a lot of weird shit, I guess, based on like firearms and stuff, so it would come up more. But if you watch cable or like satellite or whatever, which doesn't have to do with what you watch, it's just like what's on the channel. If you watch a Canadian channel, they do come up. But that's how
Right.
you get people into it. It's not just like, oh, join CISAs, you can be a spec ops guy. It's like, oh, hey, like, education. First and foremost, like, we can offer you education.
Yeah.
We can offer you, like, legitimate jobs that don't have to do with combat.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the States, it's like, hey, man.
you
wanna
want to kill people?
You want to fucking kill some people from a different place? Let's go. It's fucked. So I don't really know if
it's totally different ads for sure.
I don't know if I agree with, like, outlawing, like, militaristic games and stuff like that. I don't know about that. Maybe because I'm biased because I like the strategy involved in it. Which, I mean, maybe you can call me sick, but you can call the same. You can call anyone else sick that plays Red Dead Redemption 2 or Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
That goes to pick up a prostitute in game, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And then murders her after.
Yeah.
Like that's more fucked up to me to play that out than just be like, oh hey, like I gotta take over this village in this video game and it's gonna be really hard.
Here's
and,
the mission. You know?
Yeah, and like it's like chess. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's chess. And Grand Theft Auto, like that game is fucked up to me. I actually worked on a house. I don't know if I told you this. Last week I was working for a customer's house. He's actually one of the lead developers for Rockstar.
No way.
Yeah, he worked on. I'll tell you what he said about Grand Theft Auto after we're not recording because it was very interesting. But he was like, "Yeah, I worked on Grand Theft Auto. That was the one game with, the guy in it." And I was like, "What guy is it?" Yeah, I was like, "You mean like the Nico Bellic guy?" Fuck, I'll say it. And he was just like, "No, the black guy." And I was like, "Dude, that's like, I don't know which one that is, man. There's like, did you the
A lot
fuck?
of 'em?
Yeah, like it's." I was like, "Which one? Like new gen or old gen?" It's like, "No, so there was Nico Bellic, and then there was the other one, and then there was 5." I was like, "So you mean Grand Theft Auto 4?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "That was Nico Bellic." And he's like, "Oh, okay, so I worked on 5." And then I worked on
Yeah.
4. And I was like, "Okay, what other ones?" He's like, "I think 2." I was like, "How many fucking games have you worked on, man?" He's like, so many, dude." He's just like, he's not a developer, he's a coder.
To
He's
be
a
at that,
code
to be at that,
guy.
yeah, to be at that point where you don't even remember the fucking
He just
games
like
that
he,
you're
well,
on.
he gets handed like that's the same thing I asked him. I was
Yeah.
like, "Man, how do you not remember this? These are stable points in the gaming industry."
Mm.
And
So
he was
he's like
Hated video games.
he's like backdoor. Just he's got to do
no,
the,
he's
the
involved.
basic script.
No,
kinda
no,
stuff?
no. He was involved. Like he was heavily involved in it.
Okay.
And the reason I know that is because he had a very nice house,
Right.
like a very nice house.
Okay.
And he told me his wife didn't really work, so I was like, okay, this guy's got fucking, he's doing well. But he was like, I hate video games. I hate them. He's like, I used to play fucking online games all the time, and now I can't. Because I'll play an online game. He's like, I try to play Warzone with like my friends that don't make video games for a living. And he's like, then I'll just have like a 10-year-old like telling me he's going to suck my dad's dick. And like weird shit. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, I get it. Like, I don't know. I'm not that old. Like he's probably 38, 40. Younger guy. Super cool. I asked him what he did. Just out of the whim. I like talking to people, obviously. And he was like, I work for Rockstar. And I was like, oh, the energy drink. Immediately what I thought.
Yeah.
And he was just like, he looked like an energy drink sort of guy, you know?
Okay.
Kind of like overweight for 40, kind of lumbering around. And he's like, no, the game developer. And I was like, fuck off, dude. Like, what? And he's like, I was like, okay, man, like, when's the next one coming out? He's like, I can't tell you that. And I was like, so you're working on it? And he's like, I can't tell you that.
Ha.
And then I had been talking to him for a while prior, so I was kind of gauging the shit when he was saying that. And I was like, so you are working on something? He's like, man, like, if you like video games, I can't actually say anything. I was like, so you are? And he's like, I can't say anything. As I'm like winking, and I was like, so there's going to be a new Grand Theft Auto? He was like, yeah, I can't say anything. Now, obviously, everyone knows there's going to be a new Grand Theft Auto. But I was just curious to see if he can give me some shit. And he's like, no, man, like, we actually sign NDAs and stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
"All right."
Yeah.
Doesn't even matter if he hasn't or not. As soon as you say NDA, I'm like, oh, I'm out. Like, you're not going to give me anything because it's your fucking job. But it's interesting because he's like, yeah, like my kid plays video games. Obviously, it's a big part of my family because I make them. But he's like, I don't really play them because it's all bullshit. It's the same fucking thing over and over again, which is true. I was talking to Faceless Nameless about that today.
Yeah.
We were talking about The Last of Us 2. He messaged me paragraphs and paragraphs. We were talking for a while today about how good Last of Us 2 are, and I was like, first one sucked. I didn't like it. Wasn't my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play it all the way through. I played like a little bit. I got stuck. I very rarely get stuck in video games. I got stuck, and I was like, this is dumb. Like this is I don't like games where it's like. I like them when they're challenging, but I don't like when you're forced through a fucking corn maze and then you get to the end, but it's hard. Because
Right.
that's just how the devs worked it out. They were like, oh, you got here, so it's going to be hard now. Fuck you, man. I
Yeah.
want to know the story. You know? I'm not playing this game. I'm not playing a fucking zombie game to be challenged with my game playing abilities. I want the story. You know, if I want to be challenged, I'm going to play like Arma or something fucked. Or even the early SOCOMs, like I said. Like, that's challenging. Where you actually have to think. But Faceless Nameless was telling me that, I don't know, apparently the AI, like, actually talk to each other now. And, like, if you kill them, there's unscripted dialogue. I don't know what unscripted means, so they must have a very large bank of dialogue. But he was like, man, I, like, accidentally blew, like, a dude up today. And his torso blew past me and freaked me out. And his buddy went, oh, Kyle, no. And like fucking FM was like, what? Like, that's fucked. And like died in game, like being too focused on what had happened with the AI.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I was talking to him to the old FM about it, and he was like, this might be the first leap forward since, because I was saying like the last time I remember a video game's AI fucking me up was Halo Combat Evolved, the first one. Because that was the first time you played the first one, right? When it came out.
Yeah.
When you were like rolling with the Space Marines that were
Yep.
basically out of Starship Trooper, which is exactly where they were from.
Yeah. The very first fucking.
Yeah, and they would
ship
actually
when you're-
like shoot with you. That was the first time that ever happened in a game. And he was like, it's almost the same as that, but it's less groundbreaking. He was like, they're slowly starting to just reach, or not slowly, but they've just reached he basically described it as like them reaching the pinnacle of what this generation of console can do. Because what I was saying is like, man, every game I play, just like the graphics look a little better. That's pretty much it. Like, there's no change. You know, you get like Red Dead Redemption 2, which was cool. The story was good. But I can watch a cool story on the internet, you know? I can watch a good movie. I can watch a good independent film. If I'm playing something I want in depth, I want a challenge. I want, as someone that likes to play video games, I want almost like immersion is exactly what you need. And when we first started playing Halo when we were kids, it was like you were immersed.
Yeah.
Like, you were like,
100%.
fuck, dude, like, this is insane. Like, you were stuck to your TV. Like, it was crazy.
Such a in-depth game. Like,
Yeah, I haven't
story
been-
and gameplay. It was just like, it was the cross between, it was the first game that it was just like, the story was compelling enough and the gameplay was compelling enough that it locked you into like a weird, in a very weird way.
Well, it's
It got
actually
you
not that
hooked
weird.
In a very
It's not that
interesting
weird.
way.
It's the same
Where
way
video
that
games before were just like run and gun, kind of like
Yeah.
you know, whatever. It's
Fun.
like
Fun.
level based fun kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like Halo was fucking totally different.
well, it had a story, and
There was
it
a
made
couple,
it
there
made
was a
you.
couple like one-offs here and there. Like the first Deus Ex was like fucking crazy and shit like that.
Good
but
game,
like,
good story, very underrated.
but
The rest of them sucked.
I don't know. I like the new Deus Exes.
You
They
played
came-
them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're pretty decent, but the first one is so much more like open-ended. Like fucking anything can
Yeah,
happen.
no, it was good.
It was one of those weird games where it's like it's so open-ended that you could kill the boss of like 8 levels down the road in the first level,
Yeah.
and then that story arc just doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Like that's fucking crazy.
yeah.
But anyway, like
But that's still scripted out.
yeah, but like
But that's
with,
still
with
scripted.
with
That possibility was scripted.
with Halo, it was like
It was
it's
level-based.
It's level based. It's like
A
very
storyline.
it's very straightforward, but like the storyline, the more like in depth the universe,
Yeah.
as well. Like it
Well,
got
they made their own
hooked.
saga, right? Like they made their own
like
universe.
the whole thing was just
When's the last
fucking
time that's happened?
intense.
Like that hasn't happened in Grand Theft Auto. There's no
No.
storyline there. There is in between individual games, but they're not memorable.
It's still like real life. Like Halo is like they actually made a completely different universe.
Yeah, like well, it's like Lord of the Rings. Like
Yeah.
like when Tolkien wrote those books, he made a fantasy realm, and then that's what people followed, and then that was later adapted to film. But it was like with Halo, there was like it was the same thing, just put into video game format, and you could play it out. You could play the novel out, and I've read a lot of the books, and they're fucking great. Like the whole like story arc between like Chief and Cortana and like the Covenant and stuff, like it's amazing. And like the way that it like dude, I remember opening up the first Halo and reading the fucking manual and having all of like the Covenant, like different races of the Covenant or species. Actually they were races because no, I guess maybe both. No, they would have been species of the Covenant made up. And it was incredible. They had backstories that were like a fucking page long.
Yeah.
Insane.
Because the Covenant was made up of different, like
Races.
yeah,
of aliens.
different races of aliens from like different planets that have all banded together for this one common cause. This is the reason why they're called the Covenant.
Yeah,
right?
it was insane.
It's fucking
But you
crazy
don't get that
to
now.
look into.
You'll get it now, but when you get
and
it
they had
now,
all those novels that came out.
yeah. But even not even that. When you opened up the first Halo 1 and 2, Halo 3 might have had a manual. I think it did, because it still would have been Xbox 360. But those first two games came with like basically short stories written into the manual before you even got to how to fucking learn the controls. Because that's where all the controls were on paper in a little book. And that was so fucking cool to me when I was a kid. Same thing with SOCOM. All the SOCOM games came with like this little backstory about like what your fucking shit was. And like you could immerse yourself in that as a kid. And you were like, this is like, you know, I got home from school, whatever, I'm going to make some fucking popcorn. This is what I'm going to do now. You know, before I play drums and shit. It was fun. It was cool.
Yeah.
It didn't make me want to fucking kill people. At any point in time.
More of a pastime.
Yeah, it was
in
just
a
like,
way.
this is challenging, and this is a different universe, whether it be aliens or, you know, busting drug dealers and fucking in the Mojave Desert as a fucking SEAL. Like, it didn't matter. It was just like, whatever I wanted to play as that character, I could immerse myself in that, and I could forget it there and then. But now, it's just become too, like, weird. Like, Grand Theft Auto is weird to me. Like, I play him because it's fun, and it's fun to drive a car around and blow shit up. Like, it's funny. But the storylines are shit. Like, it's just needless violence. Like, it's not... There's no real, like, goal to it. It's just, like, everything that people would want to do in real life but can't.
Yeah.
And that's what's fucked up to me. It's
Right.
not about, like, the military shooters aren't fucked up to me at all. It's the stuff that, like, people can't do.
Well, it's a simulator.
That's what's
Basically,
fucked.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a life simulator.
Yeah. But see, I don't know, man. If you're gonna outlaw, like, milsim games and all that stuff, then maybe, like, outlaw, like, the games where you can just drive down the street and fucking run over 1,000 people. Or maybe don't.
Yeah.
Or maybe make it so real that all those fucking weirdos that want to do that and those fucked up people, like, get their fix through what I hope are faceless, nameless AIs. I hope they don't feel anything.
Damn.
Imagine how fucking insane that would be after you died. You're like, yo, listen, you've done really good in your human life, but you killed so many innocent people at Grand Theft Auto. You're not going to heaven.
Yeah. Those are real
You have
lives.
to atone for all your sins.
Those are real lives in the simulator. All right, I gotta take a piss, but I want to talk about AI.
Oh, yeah, I like AI, yeah.
I'm gonna pause.
Okay.
And we're back. Oh, shit. Yeah, but when you, man, to talk about AI, when you brought up faceless, nameless encounter
Yeah.
in the video game dimension,
Yeah. Big dimension.
fucking Kyle getting exploded,
Yes.
like, that made me think, like, is Kyle a real person to that
So
other
I
AI person?
I actually thought about that when we were
Have
talking
they
about that.
do they have some kind of weird backstory together that like you don't see on screen? Like,
Or do they have
is that some kind of artificial
sentience? Artificial sentience?
memory that they're making in game?
Like artificial sentience?
Yeah.
Like, so maybe that they, as developers, aren't making, but that maybe... So what...
Because they're writing the developers are writing the code so the AI can do their thing. So is the AI just making that shit up on the fly?
So when people say unscripted responses, that's what fucks me up.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, so do you pump, let's say, 500,000 different responses into a computer system just based on a database? That maybe not that amount of number, but that's not really that far out of the stretch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you pump all these different responses in so that specific AI character can respond any of those ways. But how does it know how to respond based on what you do? I understand it's all coding, but there has been that thing that's fucked me up in the past. When I was playing Red Dead 2, there was a couple times where, like, you can do some shitty stuff in that game.
Right.
And it kind of got me thinking about, like there's a Black Mirror episode, I think, about that kind of whole thing. It's not really about it, but about the fucking the Callister, USS Callister, that episode where he like brings everyone into the
Yep.
What if it's sort of kind of like, obviously not like that, but what if those characters kind of become like, what if, like, I guess what I'm talking about is sentience. Like what if they like know?
Yeah, like what if they have their own lives within the game?
Well, there's a whole theory, right, about
You just don't see it and you don't think about it, but like if they're AI and they're just coded into the game and they're allowed to just operate autonomously from the actual script of the game, are they just people?
So
that are operating in the game?
Matthew McConaughey did a really good movie called Serenity. It's not
Never saw it.
It's not the sci-fi cult classic Serenity, which is a really good movie. Movie or show, I forget. There's a show, there's a movie. Anyway, McConaughey did a fucking great movie called Serenity. Not widely regarded. A lot of people fucking hated it. It's about just watch it. You like the old MCH, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great actor. Really good movie. I won't spoil it for you, but it is about essentially video game AI sentience, and it's fucked. The end of it is like, oh, okay, like this is terrifying. It fucked me up. It's like a modern take on the Truman Show, but with video games involved. But not to the point of the movie Gamer. Did you ever see that with Gerard Butler? That horrible movie.
No.
It's a bad action movie where like a teenager controls ex-cons that fight to the death, but they can't control themselves, basically. It's like Call of Duty, but imagine my character's like an ex-con.
Okay.
Gotta make sure he survives.
Mm.
And you just keep climbing up the ladder with that character until he gets shot in the face, and then you're dead. It's a weird concept. Actually, the concept for that movie is really cool. The movie itself is not very good. But
So what's the deal with Serenity?
Well, I don't want to spoil it for you.
No, I don't care.
So, Matthew McConaughey the entire time, you gotta watch it. It's worth the watch even if you understand the storyline or know the storyline. But spoiler report. Basically, fucking McConaughey. You get introduced to him in the movie, and he's like a fisherman. And then it's like, he's always fishing for the big fish, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then his fucking wife shows up, who is obviously Liv Tyler, I think. I think it's Liv Tyler. This goddamn beautiful bride, whoever it is shows up on his fucking fishing docks, goddamn beautiful. I'm pretty sure it's Liv Tyler, I think. So she shows up, it's all good. And she's basically like, yo, kill my husband, I'll give you like $500 million, essentially. And he's like, nope. And then the end of it, he finds out that he's not actually real, and he's part of a video game, and he's already fucking dead. And then he died in Afghanistan, and his son is a genius and is coding his dad into a fishing game because his dad loved fishing. It's
Holy
fucked.
shit.
I can't explain it as well as the movie does, but what I just said, if it made you say holy shit, it fucked me up. The first time I saw it, I didn't see the twist coming, and it fucked me. I was like, man, it was really cool. Dude, I've seen it like probably 15 times, not exaggerating at all. I love that movie. It's so cool. But it's not creepy. It's not weird. It's like a modern take on the Truman Show, but with sort of kind of not the Truman Show, you know? Like where Truman was actually like a human. This dude is not. Like his entire world. He thinks his entire world, which is this small bay of like a coastal, like a coastal, like tropical island, is legitimate. But it's not. It's just a video game, but he's living in it. And he thinks it's real. And it gets like fucking insane. Like to the point where like dude, like I'm going to spoil it for you, but you still have to watch it. Like I really want you to watch this movie. It's really cool.
Okay.
But it gets to the point in the movie where you don't know what the fuck's going on. You have no idea. Like it was really cool. It was really well done. And you get to the point where you're like, okay, old Matt McConaughey is just going insane. But then it turns out at the end that he's just in a video game. And he's not actually real. And, like, the end is, like, kind of cheesy because, like, the kid opens the drawer and it's, like, his dad's, like, folded up American flag, like, from his funeral and, like, his picture of him. Like, he died in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
But the lead up to it is fucked. Like, it's not creepy. It's not a horror movie or anything. It's just, like, a really well done, like, thought-provoking thing. And I don't know what it's trying to provoke, but for me, because I love video games, I was like, man, like, how many, like, AI dudes have I killed in my video game days that had AI families and they're really sad about it?
Yeah. Like, especially now, the AI is getting even better. Like, is the AI just learning?
One of the
Is it a real fucking thing now?
Yeah. Well, there have actually been games that have come out years ago that the AI would actually learn based on your movements. Like these are shooters, but they would if you would replay levels, they would remember like through like not machine learning obviously, but just through where you've been pinpointed to the map through code, they would understand where you would move to. So you couldn't play a game where you'd go to that box and take cover and fucking peek out and shoot. You couldn't do that. You would always have to play it tactically different every single time. Like some of the Rainbow Six games, like the early ones, they kind of did that. Like they'd mix up like enemies. Like one guy would be in that corner when you bust in the room. It was basically point and shoot in the early days of Rainbow Six. But some of the Tom Clancy games got kind of weird with the AI. Just like their scripting got kind of strange. Like the Rainbow Six Vegas games, 1 and 2. 1 would be my favorite. I love Tom Clancy games. They've fucking destroyed them, but I still play them, but they've destroyed them. But one of them, you would like shoot a dude, right? You're trying to like rescue a hostage or whatever, trying to like take it down all like fucking smooth and shit. And the guy's buddy would be like, "Jeff, no!" Or like you'd hear them like before you went into the room, be like, "Yo, how are your kids?" Like weird shit.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Right.
like heavy stuff. So like, if you were immersed enough, you'd be like, "Oh." I mean, you have no chance to like take them down non-lethally. You just have to shoot them in the face. It was hilarious, but they play with your fucking shit. But that was those Rainbow Six Vegas games came out. Fuck, man, almost 10 years ago.
That was very similar in the first The Last of Us game, where
I tried to play it.
There was a lot.
I got stuck and I hated it.
There was a lot of stealth involved. And
badly designed stealth.
Actually, it's great if you play it right.
Oh yeah, you ever play fucking Splinter Cell? That's good stealth. Yeah,
that's good stealth.
No one can touch that.
But no, when you're walking around these certain places, because like almost every level in that game, you could get your way out of without actually getting into hand-to-hand combat.
Yes, yeah, I don't.
So you're hiding behind cover and you're sneaking around people, but the way that it's designed, the levels are designed, is that like you can hear what people are talking about.
Yeah,
And
which
they
is
would-
very
they would-
commonplace
they would,
now.
Yeah, they would talk about just random shit.
Yeah.
It would make you think like, what the fuck is going on
So
here?
if
Like,
I
are
thought
they programming all these conversations, or is this just fucking happening? Like,
so. There's like I said, I love Tom Clancy games. This is based on what you just said. Wildlands was the first open world Tom Clancy game. It was Ghost Recon, which was like one of the flagships for Tom Clancy games, aside from Rainbow Six, which always had wonderful, just really good games for the most part. They delved off here and there. Rainbow Six Siege was a shit show. But for people for people like me that thrive off of like the actual tacticality of shooters, I don't like running guns at all. I never liked Halo Online. I like the story of it a lot. I liked playing the game, but if I'm gonna play an online game, I'm not. And I got suckered into buying the $69 fucking Rainbow Six Siege that was only online. It was just fucking garbage. Stupid. It was just Ubisoft trying to make money. So Ubisoft comes out with Ghost Recon Wildlands. And Wildlands, you're based in Bolivia. And you're trying to take down a coke dealer. Like the fucking kingpin of Bolivia, right? Cartel kingpin. Open world. Massive map. I would say bigger than the Grand Theft Auto maps. Really, really pretty. Looks really good. Decent gameplay. You had AI teammates that were garbage, basically. They just stupid. Like, they would run in front of enemies. The enemies wouldn't see them, but you'd run in front of an enemy and it would see you. Like, kind of shit. Like, just broken AI. Still a fun game, though. Like, there was certain amounts of strategy involved. But the first time I played it through, and I've played it through, that came out in 2016. I just stopped playing it 2 months ago when the new one came out, or 4 months ago when the new one came out, whatever. So there's new Ghost Recon now called Breakpoint. They actually Ubisoft had to release like 3 patches to fix the game. They released a broken game. It's the first time I ever actually bought a game that was broken. Like straight up broken. Like you couldn't play it. Like it was fucked. Like I've never experienced, like I played like the early, like I bought Fallout 3 when it first came out. And it was fucked. And that was for the Xbox 360. There was no like real patches for that. You just got a bunk game. Yeah. I bought like some of the Call of Duties. I bought there was a game called Call of Duty Big Red 1 that was based. That was a really cool.
Remember that one?
Really, really cool storyline. Really cool concept. Broken. I bought 3 copies of it. I didn't. We returned 2, and my parents finally bought me the 3rd one. And every single time you got to a certain level, it would just quit. Like, it would just not work. Right. Like, it went down in history for, like, being, like, a broken game. But that was before they could release internet, like you know, wireless patches, right?
Updates and shit like that, yeah.
So, Breakpoint comes out. Or, sorry, back to Wildlands. I played it through many times. First time I played it through, I was like, this is almost on par with Grand Theft Auto. Different, you're in Bolivia, it's mountainous, you're hunting fucking drug cartels, there's cartel dudes over there, they all look the same, the AI all looks the same, there's only 4 character models, they all die the same way, it's fucking bullshit, but they would have conversations, so you'd sneak up on dudes and you'd plan your ambush with your fake team, and you'd plan your ambush and you'd actually have, I obviously played these games with no HUD or anything, I'm a fucking sadist when it comes to video games like that. I don't play with anything. It's just goddamn torture. So you'd plan out your little attack, and you'd have to like listen to, because you could like sync shot, so you could like make your team shoot different dudes, but you'd have to wait for them to come out of a building or whatever until your team could be like, all right, I got him, and they'd talk to you, right? Like through scripts. So you're sitting there and you're like. In the video game, you're like 10 feet away from the guy behind a wall, right? It's fucking goddamn broad daylight. They can see you for sure. But you're sitting there, and it's a video game, so they can't. But you'll hear them talk, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, like, oh, I don't know about this. Like, maybe they're hunting us, bro. Like, maybe they're close. and they'll be talking about like shit, and then one guy would be like, "Yeah, my kids just went to college," and then you just shoot him in the face, and you're like,
Oh.
"Fuck." I mean, not
Fuck.
exactly that, but like weird, like human shit
Yeah.
that like wasn't present in video games before. Because in video games before, it was like, okay, you're fighting the Nazis, or you're fighting the Japanese. Or maybe you're fighting the Taliban if you're playing like a weird like Desert Storm kind of game, because that shit didn't really come out until recently.
And there's no like dialogue or talking. It's just like you're running and gunning, you know.
Yeah, but with
Yeah.
these games, like the slower moving ones where there has to be dialogue, it gets kind of weird.
It starts getting fucking creepy.
So then I played it over and over again, and it's just a fun game to play. There's a lot of customization. It's a lot of shit, and not a lot, but a good amount of shit for a console. Just like smoke a joint, kill time kind of thing. Sorry, and I realized that they were just scripts. Like there was no, obviously they're just scripts, but it still got me thinking like with that whole simulation theory, because I believe that the fucking the Elon, the Musker, the fucking Muskie,
The
I'm gonna
muskrat?
call him the Muskrat. I believe it was him that referenced Grand Theft Auto when he was talking about the simulation theory, and he's talking about if you look dead ahead of yourself right now, so whatever is dead in front of you, so which is the mural behind us, and for me it's the amps behind you,
Yep.
because we are sitting in front of a beautiful wall of amps right now. What is behind you? What is behind you right now? Does that exist?
Mm-hmm.
That was his
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah,
But it's the
'cause
same thing in Grand Theft Auto.
It doesn't render.
So if you go too
That's
quick,
that's the idea
that
of
was
Grand
the
Theft Auto.
yeah, that's what fucked me
Yeah.
up. So when
or
he said
any
that,
video game, because
Yeah.
like the things behind you in a video
Yeah.
game, especially if you're playing a first
And you can
person
actually
thing,
break-
aren't rendering.
you can
until
actually
you turn
break
around.
any Grand Theft Auto well, I mean not any, but Grand Theft Auto 5 at least when it first came out. I haven't played it in a long time, but you could break it. You could just get one of the fast cars and go on the highway in the game,
Right.
and you could drive it like just as fast as it was go, and the game wouldn't render. Like there'd be nothing there. You'd just be driving on like pixels. But that's what he was talking about. Like
Right.
if you move too quick, is it there?
Right.
But in Grand Theft Auto, like when you drive down the street, the dudes at the hospital that you were just fucking shooting at, well, what happens to those dudes in the game? So that fucked me up when he said that. Like he said, like, is what behind you fuck, I don't know how to say this.
Is what's behind you is actually real?
Is what behind you? Why can't I say that? Why am I fucking this up?
I don't know, man.
You say it. Is what behind you really there?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how do you know? You can't see it. I can, but when you turn around, it renders. Yeah, it's there.
It renders like
Okay, so what? So if you don't look at what's
you
behind
can tell
you,
it's there.
it's the whole
because
thing about like if a tree
it's
falls
rendering.
if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? It goes back to that whole thing, which
Yeah.
I actually think that's what he was referencing.
Yeah,
I think
especially
he does reference
where
it.
we are here in the fucking central bunker of Hamilton. We're right on King Street, but
I can't hear shit.
I don't know what
can
the
only
fuck is
feel,
going on.
I can only feel trucks going by sometimes.
yeah, how do you know that the street is there when we're not looking at it? You know?
Yeah, same thing.
It's fucking weird.
Well, Mike
but
and I
it gets
were
really
talking
fucked
about-
up when you think about like the speed of light.
Oh,
Like if you go so fast that time stops, like how do you know what's real at that point?
so you know how Mike and I always
You're
fuck
breaking
around?
the system, just like what you said about like the hack in Grand Theft Auto, where you go so fast in that.
Well, it's not even a
the
hack.
fucking
You
car.
just did it in the vanilla
yeah.
game, and then you fucked it up.
that it's kind of breaking the infrastructure of
Yeah.
the code. That's kind of like what going the speed of light is. Like it's operating so fast while still being in the confines of
reality.
of reality, or what
Well,
what
we
we
perceive as reality,
conceptualize
yeah.
as reality.
So
That at all time around you slows down because the time can't render as fast as you're going.
yeah. So do you? So you ever like you ever? Okay. So here.
It's really fucked up.
It's already gonna be a shit morning. So whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about like the? I'm not trying to get in like crazy shit, but you know how like Mike and I always talk about like if Mike and I are together, we'll be like, oh man, like we gotta go back to our time. We gotta get back to our time, dude. We're not in the right time right now. You know, like the time
Okay.
portal bullshit.
Yeah.
So I recently went down this like podcast fucking rabbit hole, dude. And I found this podcast. I'll tell you about it after. I'll give you the name of it. But they were basically talking about how there's actually like a lot of accounts through history, like modern history, where like military dudes and like cops and like very like reputable people would see shit and see people that like weren't from our time that would just like appear. Like there was a case actually in Mongolia where a bunch of guys were like out looking for some dude, and they fucking not even, they were just like mountaineering or whatever, and they ended up stumbling across a dude that was, this is legitimate. Like there's documents on this. Like there's reports on this.
Okay.
There's like it was like a team of people. I'm not making this up. Like a team. Like
and
a
they
lot.
found some guy.
Yeah, half frozen to death from like 17th century Mongolia. Yeah.
Okay.
And like other shit. There was a special forces team in Russia, or some shit like Germany or some shit like that. Not from Germany, like a special forces team from like the
Wait, what are you
UN.
talking about? Half frozen to death? Like the guy was still alive?
Yeah, he shouldn't be though. He was like in the middle of nowhere, like Siberia shit.
Huh.
Like fucking done. Like you should have died. Like it doesn't take you long to die. And he was like fine. They brought him back and he was like, he didn't recognize anything. He didn't speak the language. There was a team of you can correct me if I'm wrong after, because I'll actually send you the link of the podcast that they were talking about this on, and they were also skeptical. But I just thought it was fascinating, the idea that so there was like this team of like black ops dudes, like scary guys doing some shit out there, like wherever the fuck they are, doing weird shit. And it was during like tail end of World War II, I think it was. It would have been, and they actually ended up across a highway. You've told me many times about how Nazi Germany had built these highways, and they were trying to ambush one of the German fucking commanders, like tail end of World War II, right? And they're trying to take this dude out. And I'm gonna bastardize this story, but I'll send you the link. Actually, it's really crazy. It's not like these guys aren't like, oh, this is real. They're just like accounting, like they're just like telling stories that are documented, I guess, and they cite everything in their shit. And the reason I'm not telling you what it is because I don't remember the podcast and I don't want to butcher it. But anyway, the story is that they're set up for an ambush on this highway. So there's two teams, two squads each side, set classic ambush. You're gonna fuck this dude up. No crossfire. You're gonna fuck him up. And they actually end up seeing what they thought was a plane land on the highway. So what these dudes see is, they didn't know at the time, because it's 1939, or not even 39, it's like 1943, 1944.
Yep.
Cars looked a lot different then. They were seeing like ambulances and shit come out that didn't look like they were from that time. But these dudes came out like 40 years later being like, yeah, like we made this report talking about weird vehicles coming out of this light onto this highway, and this guy had this fucked up like kind of premonition, basically. Not even that, like a realization, because in the 80s, 20, not the 80s, so like, wait, 40s, yeah, so like 60s, 70s, he was looking at, he saw an ambulance.
Yeah.
Like a more modern ambulance, and he was like, I've seen that before.
Huh.
But all the other guys like accounted for the same thing. They saw
Right.
this shit come out of this fucking bubble of light on a highway that still exists in Germany. Like it's still there.
Yeah.
And they were seeing vehicles come in and out of this thing but not going past it.
Huh.
But it's not the only people that have saw it or have seen it, sorry. Like these guys go off on this whole like tangent for like an hour and a half of different stories of people seeing stuff that weren't possible at the time,
Right.
and they were or meeting people that weren't from that time, so to speak, that were very confused and being like, "What the fuck?" And they also talking about people being stuck in time.
Stuck in time.
Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but when you listen to these they're not interviews, but these stories, just two assholes like us, but they tell the stories really well. It's really interesting. Just like the way like the theoretical stuff based on it is like fucking insane.
Well, do you have a story about this stuck in time?
Well, yeah, they
thing?
would say with the fucking the Mongolian guy. Same thing. Like
Okay.
they found this dude in the mountains. They're fucking hiking.
I want to know if this Mongolian guy is still alive.
No, he's dead. He's like in the story. He's like he was like fucking 80. Like he died like shortly after. But he shouldn't have been able to survive. But he was wearing clothing that wasn't of a native tribe to that region.
So
Like
you're saying
it would have been
you're saying
hundreds of years ago. There's no way this fucking guy could have survived.
Oh, okay.
This is what I'm getting at. It's about it. I know it sounds insane. I'm just talking shit, but it's about portals and stuff. This is what I'm getting at. With like, you know, when Mike and I joke about like, oh, we're not in the right time. We gotta go back to our portal and all that shit. But like, this was like legitimately about that. It's really interesting because there's like a whole theories about this shit opening up, right? Like they actually think that some of the aircraft that they see or the phenomena they see in the sky is not technically physical. Like the lights and stuff they think might be like multi-dimensional. So they think there's actually like many different planes of dimensions, and they think that there's a really cool theory that I really like. One of my favorite theories. And by the way, I don't think that aliens at any point are a theory. I think it's like just what's going on. Call me crazy. But one of the theories, the actual theories that I like, is that like ghosts and premonitions and all that shit are just dimensions lapping over each other. Which, if you actually look at multidimensional science, I explained to you that book on parallel universes and stuff. I have a book on it.
Okay.
I know that sounds crazy, but
I think you mentioned that book.
yeah,
to me
it's a
once
reputable
before,
book. It's written by like a dude that's grounded in science. It's not bullshit. It's just based. It's not like, oh yeah, there could be different dimensions. It's like, no, like this is legitimately the science behind it, and he breaks it down in layman's terms. Really interesting. But it is like, I won't say scientific fact, but it is, maybe you could say scientific knowledge, that, and like a lot of people think that like, yeah, there could be different levels of it. Just because we live on this one and we see what we see doesn't mean there's no others.
The like
That's
interdimensional
ridiculous.
plane.
Yeah,
basically,
and sometimes just like
all coexisting.
yeah, and like sometimes shit gets fucked up.
Yeah.
But that also has to work into the simulation theory where like, why does shit get fucked up?
Yeah.
Why does your game lag?
There's a lot. I feel like in hundreds
Why
of
does your-
years,
why does your game lag?
we're gonna figure out like way crazier things about
I don't think we'll ever be
about
able to.
life.
I don't think we can ever.
like Earth
if
is a
it's
lot
simulation,
more fucked up than we would
if
like
it's-
it to be.
So my fucked up thing is, the only thing I'm scared of, is that it is a simulation. That's my greatest fear.
All right.
Does that make sense? A
Yeah.
simulation. Therefore, fucking.
That means we're all just playing like some weird game.
Well, you're
that,
not playing anything technically. Someone else is playing you.
Yeah,
you're just an NPC.
Yeah.
You just script it out, bro.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
So that's my greatest fear.
We're all just in SimCity.
Yeah, which is fucked. That was another thing that fucking got me thinking.
The last time we did a podcast, and I told you my theory about the simulation,
I think so, maybe.
about how like life is basically SimCity, and the aliens are just the users.
Yeah.
And that's why they.
Yeah,
and
very,
that's
very,
why
very high tech.
UFOs can fly across maps like in a second.
So here's the thing that fucked me up today. So you've seen the videos of like the UFOs doing like this, right?
Yep.
If anyone is listening, I'm making zigzag fucking trails with my hands. I was watching a fucking not a moth, a butterfly today.
Mm-hmm.
You ever actually looked at a butterfly?
Oh yeah.
You ever seen them like really looked at them with this frame of mind, like looked at them fly?
Well, thinking that they're in a simulation.
No. So you have all these new I'm not going anywhere with this. It was just a thought I had today. Sorry. So Fravor, Commander Fravor, the guy that came out with the, well, see, I'm still kind of skeptical of him, but with the Tic Tac UFO and the Go Fast UFO and all that shit, he was the guy that spoke about it on Rogan and all that stuff. He wasn't the guy that released it. It was the not NSA, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So you see these videos, right? Like specifically from the military in the United States, which is funny that Canada hasn't really commented on it, unless you want to talk about Paul Hellyer. Do you know about Paul Hellyer?
I don't think so. No.
I'll tell you about that in 5 seconds.
Okay.
But anyway, this guy and these dudes that were in the air, like the Navy Air Force, were watching these craft do like zigzags, like at incredible speeds, like as if there was no laws of physics bounding them. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
You ever watched a butterfly fly?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. They literally do this. Like, they'll be going at you, and then they're there. And then they're there. And there's nothing. Wind, nothing matters, man. They just, but they don't.
Same with a fly or a bee, or something like that.
No, but
like
bees, I can
they're
understand.
flying very like erratically, I guess.
Okay, yeah, so insects. Like, it's
Yeah.
fucked.
Insects
How?
in general, yeah.
It's fucked. Birds don't do that. Birds can't do that. Hummingbirds, maybe. But still not to that extent.
Mm-hmm.
But even flies and bees, that's very straight. It's curvy. But if you look at fucking moths, depending on how you want to say it, how you want to say it.
Right, moths are kinda fucked up.
And butterflies, they fucking just fucking go, dude.
What about hummingbirds?
It's elegant. There's an elegance to it. They may like do this
Yeah.
up and down, but dude, if you actually watch, like next time you see a moth or a butterfly, watch it fly. It's fucked. Like it's weird to me. I'm not going anywhere with this, but it just reminded me. I was watching a couple of them today because I was near a tree that a bunch of butterflies were near, and I was like, man, I don't understand. Like you don't flap your wings that quick. How are you doing that? I don't understand in insectology. It's gotta be a word. But it was just like a thought that I had that reminded me of the all the weird UFO shit. What was I gonna talk about? I said remind me of something.
Some Canadian guy.
Oh yeah, Paul Hellyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul Hellyer came out like fuck man, I don't know, probably 15 years ago and said, yeah, definitely we have UFOs. He was a senator of Canada, like in our country. That was like, yeah, no, like there's some shit going on. He was actually petitioning against Congress. Not Congress, the Senate. Senate? Yeah, we don't know anything
The
about Canadian
government.
politics. Yeah, he had a bunch of petitions. I don't know if he's dead or not yet, but yeah, man, Paul Hellyer, pretty cool guy. Old dude, like fucking 80, was like, yeah, no, fuck you. Like there's some shit going on. I served. Like there's some shit. Like I want to know. Like the public has the right to know. And they shut him the fuck down. They laughed at him. There's actually court footage of them laughing at him.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man. Like in front of like a lot of people, being like, "No, man." Like he actually took the stand, like not the stand, but he stood up
So
in front of people.
in Parliament.
Yeah, in Parliament. Yeah, he was like, "No, like I want to. Like people deserve the right to. Like they have the right to know this." He was trying to get disclosure, and they fucking just laughed. They shut him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul Hellyer. Is it Paul Hellyer?
Fair enough. It's like that's a hard thing to get through, right?
Did you listen to the George Knapp and Corbell one?
Yeah.
What do you think about?
It's hard to get through because of all the Corbell stuff, but
Rogan shuts him down when he needs to. But what do you? Not even about that. What do you think about? I'm not trying to take this whole thing on some sort of alien fucking conspiracy theory trip, but
No, dude, aliens are great.
this is very important, I think, right now, and I think it just really fucking bums me out. Like last Friday bummed me out. It did, man, because
Yeah.
like that is a huge thing. For people to be
Right.
like a reputable news source to be like, yeah, they have something from a different fucking place. It's not from here. And you're gonna sit there and just say, nod your head at me? Are you fucking kidding me right now? That means that everything you've ever done is fucked. It doesn't even matter because there's more life. There's more shit. You're not the,
Right.
We're not the only one. We finally figured out that probably Jesus not that important. Just another speck of dust. If he was ever real. Muhammad, another speck of dust. All your fucking religion, all your Bibles, all your
Well, it
fucking
just brings
laws
up
are
like
bullshit.
more questions about religion, you know?
Not even, no, it doesn't at all. It just means it's
It's
dumb.
like what the fuck is that? I mean,
I
not,
mean,
to, not,
no,
to,
it
not to
doesn't-
bring up the ancient aliens thing again, but it's
I was just
like,
going to say, it
now
just
it's
means
like,
that they were here
so
before.
what the fuck? What is that?
That means
Like,
that they
what's
were
going
here
on?
before. By them saying, to me, what I thought of that, by them saying, like, yeah, listen, we had some shit. There's some shit here. It's like, okay, so that means that it was here a couple hundred years ago. Which, if you're from a different fucking place, then, and you've already learned how to, like, travel through light years, dude. Like, they think the closest one is 180 light years away.
Yeah.
You know how fucking far that is? Or it's either 180 or 180,000. Either
We
way,
can't
it's
get there with
so
fucking rockets,
far,
but
dude.
you know,
No,
for,
dude, David
for
Bowie.
a, for a,
dude,
a
David
better
Bowie's not
civilization,
gonna-
they'd be able to figure out. You
Yeah.
know.
So you think they're fucking coming here?
The thing
like,
in
they
like
just
in
came here?
a
Fuck no.
universe of like infinite possibilities, it's an infinitely expanding universe. To think that like some civilization out there hasn't figured out a way of getting around the universe
But
quicker.
what if that's part of the game?
Like, what do you mean?
What if that's part of the game to always make you question it?
But then that goes back to like saying that Earth itself is just a game, a
So there are
simulation.
some- there are some
and then,
video games-
and then really nothing else exists.
There are some video games that guys have made, that companies have made, where there are levels that you can't get to unless you know how to get to them. And then you really
Right.
beat the game.
Right.
What if it's
Yeah.
the same thing? If you want to talk about simulation theory, what if it's the same fucking thing? Have you ever actually, like, I'm going to get, like,
So
real
it's
stupid.
like so basically what you're saying is like certain planes of consciousness will get you to the next level.
Essentially, yeah. Have you ever looked at the sky? Have you ever looked at the
So
sky?
I get like I mean in that way like you open up a fucking Pandora's
yeah,
box
yeah,
on like
yeah.
meditation and like DMT and you could go
No,
you could go fucking
I don't-
deep
no,
into like
I don't,
dimensions.
I don't think that shit has anything to do with it.
I think it does. I think it does.
Yeah, no, I've seen some weird shit on drugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I've always found really interesting. You've done mushrooms, right?
A bunch of times, yeah.
Have you done mushrooms enough to see like the Paisley pattern?
Not Paisley, but dragons and shit.
Have you ever seen like the geometrical patterns on stuff?
I've seen things like morphing into shapes, but it's not
Okay.
like it's not a rigid geometric pattern.
So a lot of people.
Things I've gotten to are a lot more melty and weird.
Were you outside though?
Yeah.
So you ever been inside and done mushrooms?
Just
Like you ever been like tripping
small,
balls
just
on?
small amounts. Inside.
Okay, so you never been like tripping balls like when it first hits, and then you go outside, but you're inside when it first hits, and you look at a wall.
No,
It's a blank
every time I've
canvas,
done
right?
a lot of it, I've always wanted to go for like a hike or something. So it's
Okay,
I'm always out.
fair enough. So the crazy thing is, if like the majority of people, if they do mushrooms, or psychedelics, sorry, and they're looking at a blank slate, like a wall, right, with nothing on it. Like I'm just fucking. It doesn't matter if there's other stuff on the wall. If you're looking at a certain point, you'll actually it's very common. You'll see the same geometric patterns, like hexagons and octagons, and all this shit. But if you look at plants, And
Sacred geometry.
yeah.
Right.
So what I'm getting at is if you look at plants and all that stuff, they're actually made up of like kind of sort of technically like on a molecular level the same shapes. But it's really cool that you can see that when you're just looking at stuff. And I think it's really cool that when you open your mind up to those types of things, like, I'm going to start to sound real hippie right now, but like plants and like living things react differently to you. Like you told me that one story about the tree that was smiling at you.
Yeah.
And I told you about the one story about my dogs that were terrified of me because I was having a bad time.
Yeah. Well, the dogs pick up on that.
It's weird.
It's
but
very,
why?
It's very odd.
Dogs don't pick up on when you're fucking hammered drunk and you come home. They're so stoked to see you. Dogs don't pick up when I'm high as fuck and I come home. They don't know. But when I'm at a different level of consciousness, which is what I believe, they know. And they're just like, what the fuck, dude?
Were they going around you, or were they trying to avoid you?
They avoided me.
So
And I was very, very close to this dog. Like she slept with me.
You couldn't do like a Vulcan mind meld.
No, she was like, this dog would sleep with me every night for years, like 2.5 years, every single night. And she wasn't my dog. Like we just bonded. But when I did mushrooms that one night, she wouldn't fucking come near me. And this is the same dog that like would get so excited only when I came home that would pee everywhere. Like a little tiny chihuahua, like only when I came home. Not my dog, dude. Again, not my dog. She was like 6.
Right.
We just bonded. Like it was my cousin's dog when I was with my aunt and uncle going to school. She would freak the fuck out. And I'd go to sleep and she would literally be like in like my armpit. She was tiny. You've seen pictures of her. She's a little tiny chihuahua.
Yeah.
Luna. Yeah, every night. But when I came home on mushrooms that one night, and also another night when I came home on acid after seeing Yob, bad time. She was terrified of me. And my uncle actually picked up on it the time I came home after doing a tab of acid and seeing Yob, a couple tabs, I guess. I saw Yob and I came home. My uncle was like, "Yo, you just look like you came out of the fucking Third World War." And which was code word for my uncle used to always tell me that. Great guy, Uncle Steve, fucking straight up killer. He's awesome. They used to run around high school and have Tab Tuesdays. And they would see dudes, like, imagine if I knew you in high school and I walked down the hallway and I went like this. And I stuck my tongue out and there was a tab on my tongue. If there wasn't a tab on your tongue, I put a tab on your tongue.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, this was like, back in the day. He was a fucking, like I said, he's a straight up killer. He's fucking awesome. But he told me that, like, I remember the one night he was like, yeah, like we used to come home like sometimes on the weekends looking like we came out of World War II. So when I came home after seeing Yob, like high as fuck, dude, like just tripping balls. I came home and the pug ran up to me. Chihuahua wouldn't touch me. That was like my dog, right? And he looks at me and he goes, "Huh? World War III, eh?" I just looked at him and I was like, "Yep." But he's like, "You want to watch Ice Road Truckers?" And I was like, "Yep." I just sat there like terrified for like 2 hours, just like tripping balls and watching Ice Road Truckers and drinking fucking Ryan whiskeys from my uncle. It was great.
Oh my god. Sounds awesome. Holy shit. It's a good story, man. We should probably end it.
Yeah, it's like 5
Let's do it.
in the morning.
Yeah.
What time is it?
Fuck, we've been going on for a long ass time.
Jesus Christ, it's so late.
So how can people get a hold of you?
Oh.
Your fucking sexy social media accounts.
Okay, so my
With your
SIN number is 624-698-5677.
Very important.
It's not actually, but I play drums in C's, S-E-I-Z-E. I don't know the fucking C's is an entity at Instagram. On Instagram. And then Solarium is another band I play drums in. And that would be solariumontario.bandcamp.com. I don't have an Instagram. What is my Instagram handle? I don't know.
I don't even know.
Oh,
you changed it so
What
many
is-
times
what
that
is
it's not
it?
even like a name anymore.
Oh, Mingus Iguana, dude. So underscore Mingus Iguana underscore. Fucking.
Flashy.
If you're under 5'4" and single and a female, let me know.
All right.
Season Solarium. Happy birthday, Luke. Happy birthday to you.
All right. See you later.